as I stated tonight, if your batter is batter number 8, every time the 8th batter strikes out tonight, you can have all.
It is a great day for baseball here in Salem, Oregon, as the Yakima Valley Pippins get ready to take on the Marion Berries for the fifth and close to final time. Tomorrow ends the season series for these two squads. Welcome up to the broadcast position here at Chemeketa Community College. I'm Harmon Johnsen, your voice of the Yakima Valley Pippins. It's a beautiful day temperature-wise. The wind's still going to be blowing just a little bit out to left field, but there's not a cloud in the sky. I've got some extra layers on after learning the temperature tonight. And it should be a fun one here between the Pippins and the Berries. If you weren't with us last night, here's how it went down. The Pippins got a leadoff single by Tyson Miller and cashed it in on a Nick Velasquez double. They led 1-0 after a half a frame. Marion also cashed in their leadoff batter as a hit by pitch to Sawyer Nelson resulted into a RBI single by Martin Serrano. And so the Berries were able to snag a run right back and tie the contest. The Pippins would then take the lead in the third frame, getting 3 runs on 3 consecutive doubles and a single. And then the Berries took the lead in the fourth frame, didn't look back. 4 runs after they sent 9 to the plate in the fourth. They sent another 7 to the plate in the fifth. They scored 3. They tacked on an insurance run in the seventh. That was after the Pippins had scored in the top half of the frame, cashing in Tyson Miller for the third time of the night. Pippins pitching gave away quite a few bases. Josh Mawhinney started, went 3 walks in 3 1/3 innings. Bo Lloyd walked 2 in his 2/3. Bass Fry walked 2 in his 2/3. Wyatt Robinson walked 1 in his 1 1/3. Dan Bradley walked 3 in his 2/3. Shifu Hasegawa walked 3 as well. So too many free passes allowed to the Berries bats. But the Pippins turn around and have a man who probably should have won West Coast League Player or Pitcher of the Week last week, Luke McGuire, who went into the 8th inning with a shutout up in Edmonton. The only reason he didn't win the award was because the winner had pitched twice, getting 2 starts in the week. And so McGuire, even though he went 7 2/3 scoreless against the Edmonton Riverhawks, did not become the second Pippin this year to win Pitcher of the Week. But it's okay because Luke, looking to rebound and get another start just like that tonight. The Berries have been very stingy on offense. Last night, picking up their 9 runs on only 5 hits, thanks in large part to those Pippins walks and hit by pitches. It's a new day. You're going to have to find a way to come out on top. The Pippins on a 3-game losing streak as they're now 1 game below 500 this season. The first time that they have been below even in their record this year. Before we get into starting lineups tonight, as we're anticipating the start of the national anthem, let's get a couple of updates on who's playing tonight in the West Coast League. In Port Angeles tonight, it'll be Victoria and the Lefties game 2. Down in Bend, Kelowna dismantled the Elks last night. Bend only scoring 3 runs, Kelowna scoring 16. So the Falcons looking to take the series down there in Bend. That game just about underway. Portland down in Springfield, the Pickles won game 1 over the Drifters. Nanaimo is in Wenatchee, and the Apple Sox have put up double-digit runs in back-to-back games. They're going to look to do it in 3 straight. After the Night Owls swept the Corvallis Knights, the Wenatchee Apple Sox dismantled them. At Bellingham tonight, Kamloops is taking on the Bells. Walla Walla is in Ridgefield tonight. Ridgefield walked off the Swedes last night, separating the top of the division by now 3 games, 14-5 to 11-8. The Swedes sitting in second place, the Raptors sitting in first place. And down in Corvallis, the Knights winning over the Riverhawks last night by a score of 6-5. Corvallis sitting in third place now, all alone. Portland in fourth. Yakima Valley and the Berries tied for fifth. Down in eighth or seventh place, rather, is the Bend Elks at 6-10. And the Springfield Drifters down at the bottom of the South at 4-12. In the North standings, Wenatchee leads the way, 14-5. Bellingham half a game behind them, or a game behind them rather, at 13-6. Nanaimo 11-8. Kelowna, Victoria, both 8-8. Kamloops is in sixth place at 7-9. Edmonton 7-12 at seventh, and Port Angeles down at the bottom of the North at 4-15. That is a lot of losses to start this year. Of course, the Pippins only 5 losses away from that number. You hope they can rebound tonight and find a way to get back into the win column. Pippins 4-6 on the road, a part of this 3-game losing streak. The Pippins are 3-7 over their last 10 contests. And so trying to get back to 500, get their 10th win on the season. It's been eluding them so far the last couple of nights. Umpires out to hold on to the plate meeting. Both coaches heading out there as the umpires are getting photographed. Must be a nice little situation out there. Perry Schofield, the home plate umpire, Derek Dunbar, the plate umpire. Scratch that. Perry Schofield, the home plate umpire, Derek Dunbar, the field umpire. They flipped from last night. And so we get ready to play ball. We still got the national anthem to sing, so we'll get starting lineups in before that happens. For the Marion Berries, they are 9-10 on the season under the direction of Tucker Brack. Sawyer Nelson leads it off. He will play third base today and wear number 5. Batting second, the center fielder, number 14, Noah Scherer. Batting third, the shortstop, number 40, Tyler Dunning. Gavin Price back in the lineup for the Berries tonight after getting a night off yesterday. He wears number 22. He'll bat cleanup and play right field. Matthew Major is playing left field today. He is wearing number 1. Hudson Flora, the first baseman, wears number 8. He was the catcher last night. Taryn Carlson, the designated hitter, will bat 7th and wear number 29. Nolan Rowe doing the catching tonight after playing third base last night, wearing number 36 and batting 8th. And Colin Matteo is the second baseman. He wears number 33, and he will bat 9th. So again for the Berries, Nelson, Scherer, Dunning, Price, Major, Flora, Carlson, Rowe, Latino, Jackson Blank on the mound. We're going to take a break for the national anthem. We'll get you the Pippins starting lineup when we come back. First pitch on the way. Pippins and Berries, game number 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back to Chemeketa.
What's so screen, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the heavens for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed. And the rocket's night that reflects still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner for the land of
Welcome back to Chemeketa Community College. A couple more pregame festivities roll along, so we'll get into the Yakima Valley Pippins starting lineup here in Salem. Leading off and playing left field, number 3, Tyson Miller. Batting second, the third baseman, number 26, Daichi Furuhara. Batting third, the man who had 2 doubles yesterday. Playing first base, number 17, Nick Velasquez. Batting cleanup will be the designated hitter, Parker Burt, back in the lineup for the first time in more than a week. Burt hurt his shoulder up in Edmonton and so has been out with a little bit of an injury, and he is back tonight designated hitting. He is batting cleanup. He is wearing number 25. Batting fifth, the second baseman tonight, Jay O'Neill. Jay moving from the outfield to the infield. O'Neill wearing number 7. Batting 6th, the center fielder, number 15, Luis Garcia, back in after a night off. Trey Godoy is the right fielder today. He will wear number 4 and bat 7th. Jackson Upton, the center field or the catcher today, excuse me. He is wearing number 51 and batting 8th. And then batting 9th is the shortstop, Cole Hubka, back in the lineup today. He is wearing number 6. So again, for the Pippins, Miller Furahada Velasquez, Bert O'Neill Garcia, Godoy, Upton, and Hubka. Ceremonial first pitch almost takes out home plate umpire Perry Schofield, who is standing off to the third base side. Coach Kyle Crustangel in his 5th season at the helm of the Yakima Valley Pippins, and then his assistants are Gunnar Ueda Pancheri and Ethan Salscheider. Pippins and Berries both at 9 and 10 on the season, both sitting 5 games back in the standings. The Pippins on the road 4 and 6. The Berries here at Chemeketa are 6 and 4. And so Pippins playing their 11th game on the road so far here in this season. As the first half starts to wind to a close, this is game 20 of the 27-game first half. The Pippins have one more game down here in Salem tomorrow, and then a 6-game league homestand against the Wenatchee Apple Sox and the Kelowna Falcons. That'll be Tuesday through Sunday of next week. The Pippins have an extended 11-game homestand, but after those 6 league games, it'll be 4 non-league games and then a Pippins All-Stars game, the first one of those. Pippins will be playing the Dub C Fish Sticks on Monday after this upcoming week. That's June 29th, June 30th, and July 1st. The Pippins will be playing the Northwest Star Nighthawks, and then on July 2nd, the Pippins will honor America because they'll be on the road for the 4th of July and host the Portland Gherkins. And then if you want to stick around and not travel to Bend with the big club, the Pippins All-Stars will be making their first appearance on the field at Yakima County Stadium. And that will be against the Portland Gherkins as well. That's July 3rd. It's also Conspiracy Theory Night. And there will be an alternate identity that the Pippins will wear. There'll be the chemtrails, have a couple of alternate uniform choices that they will walk out in as well for Conspiracy Theory Night on July 3rd. Before we get to that, though, we got to take care of business here in Salem. The Berries and the Pippins, as the Berries take the field. They do things a little bit different here in Salem. They do the home lineup fairly early, and then they bring the umpires out. They do the plate meeting. Then they do the anthem. And then after the anthem, they do a ceremonial, I believe it's a ball kid, kind of like a mini manager, but he cleans off home plate. And then they introduce the home team here, the Marion Berries, and we take the field to play ball. On the mound for the Berries as he continues his warm-ups, Jackson Blank making his 4th start, 5th game overall, 0-2 on the season, a 10.32 ERA. An 11.1 innings pitched. He's given up 19 hits, 16 runs, 13 of them earned. 5 walks and 16 strikeouts for Blank is a good number to have, but he's giving up a lot of hits. Pippins looking to take advantage as back when the Berries were up in Yakima, Blank pitched against them. He went 2 2/3 innings, giving up 7 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The Pippins would go on to win that game 12-5. So Yakima Valley going to look to get it done early and often and try to get the Berries out of this game as quickly as possible. Blank's defense behind him looks like this. Major in left, Scherer in center, Price in right, Nelson, Dunning, Latio, and Flora on the infield left to right, third to first. Nolan Rowe doing the catching for the right-hander Jackson Blank. Berries wearing their purple tops with white berries inscribed across the chest. They've got two-toned hats, black backs, and white is the front side. There is a cluster of berries, which is one of the alternate logos for Marion. White pants to go along as well. Tyson Miller digs in, the lefty. Pippins wearing the blue tops, the blue caps, gray pants, and green batting helmets with block Pippins in white on the chest. First pitch of the ball game is at 6:44 p.m., just a minute early of the scheduled 6:45 p.m. game. Weather conditions here in Salem, 73 degrees and clear skies. On the ground over towards third base, Nelson dives, he stops it, he sends it across. And on two pitches, Tyson Miller is out number one, a 5-3 ground out. So 73 degrees. The wind not quite as violent as yesterday, west-northwest at 10 miles an hour. But most importantly, clear skies. Here's Daichi Furuhata. Furuhata getting a hit yesterday. First pitch, a breaking ball for strike one from Jackson Blank. Furuhata on the season, batting .338. That was after batting .299 at SWAC, Southwest Oregon Community College. Daichi swings through an upstairs changeup, no balls and two strikes. So far in the season for Yakima Valley, he's got 23 hits, 2 long balls, and has scored 25 times. Daichi with a red arm sleeve sticking out against that blue uniform. The 0-2, fastball upstairs, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Daichi currently verbally committed to Northwest Nazarene University to continue his baseball and academic career. 1-2 from the stretch from Blank. Swing and a drop by Rowe behind the dish. He picks it up in front of the plate and sends it down to first to complete the strikeout of Daichi Furuhata. 2 up and 2 down. Nick Velasquez will try to get a 2-out rally started here in the first frame. Velasquez, I talked to him last night after the game, now batting .344 for Yakima Valley. 21 hits, 6 of them doubles, 2 of them coming from last night. Velasquez from the Redlands, California, taking a first pitch changeup downstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. So the top of the order remains the same for the Pippins. Parker Burt waiting on deck, his first chance to swing the stick since Sunday up in Edmonton. Here's a bouncer foul over on the right side by Nick Velasquez to even the count 1-1. Perry Schofield, the home plate umpire tonight. He wears number 79. Derek Dunbar is the field umpire tonight. He wears number 53. He's already donned the jacket. It's going to get chilly tonight. Temperatures expected to drop into the low 50s. Breaking ball from Blank. It's outside. 2 balls and a strike. Rowe, the catcher, was a Yakima Valley Pippin last year, trying to pull that one back across the plate, but Schofield says it stayed outside. Blank set at the belt. Another breaking ball. This one's high and away, and so it's 3 balls and a strike. Pippin's looking for a 2-out base runner in the form of Nick Velasquez. Last night, Nick did draw a walk and was hit by a pitch, so he was on 4 out of the 5 times he came up to the plate. Counts 3-1. The pitch from Blank is sent over my head and over towards the parking lot. It one-hops through a tree and deposits itself on campus here at Chemeketa Community College. So the count runs full. Nick awaiting a payoff pitch from Jackson Blank. Blank coming set at the letters. Payoff pitch from the stretch. Nick sends it a mile high down the right field line. Looking to see if it's fair or foul. It is foul. It is caught. Price over there up on the warning track will put it away. Nick gave it a ride, but did not quite have the strength to muscle it out of here. 1, 2, 3 go the Pippins in the first frame. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on. We'll introduce you to Yakima Valley's starting pitcher when we come back. Luke McGuire comes out from the pen to make his 4th start of the season.
We are ready Thank you very much, Oregon Specialty Group, for sponsoring the single grade. Next segment, it's for the year. Very nice. Oregon Specialty Group is proud for the Marion Dairy. Just like the great teams take care of each other on the field, OSG takes care of your expert care in oncology, rheumatology, infectious disease, and specialty infusion.
Pippins out for their first inning on defense. Luke McGuire toes the slab, 1-2 on the season, 3 games, 3 starts, 16 and a third innings pitched, 17 strikeouts to only 6 walks. He's given up 17 hits though and 7 earned runs. A 3.86 ERA was dramatically lowered thanks to pitching 7 2/3 scoreless up in Edmonton on Saturday, exactly a week ago. He'll face Sawyer Nelson, Noah Scherer, and Tyler Dunning to start for the Marion Berries. Defense behind Luke McGuire is Tyson Miller in left, Luis Garcia in center, Trey Godoy in right, Daichi Furuhata at third, Cole Hubka at short. You've got Jay O'Neill at second and Nick Velasquez at first. Jackson Upton doing the catching as McGuire, the southpaw, out of the windup. His first pitch is a breaking ball downstairs, 1-0. Sawyer Nelson starting again in the leadoff spot for the Marion Berries. The 1-0 pitch upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Nelson coming straight out of the high school ranks here in Salem and is showing up a lot of these college boys. Breaking ball, high and tight. Nelson dives out of the way. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Nelson batting .294 on the season with 4 doubles and a triple. He's scored 19 times. He's drawn 31 walks. 3-0, taking all the way, and McGuire stays in the count. Nelson hits the ball hard off the bat when he makes contact. Anywhere from 90 to 100, it seems like, is his average. 3-1 fastball, inside ball 4. Make it now 32 walks that Nelson has drawn on the season. This was after, of course, last night, Nelson drew 4 walks. He went 1 for 1 with 4 walks and a hit by pitch. And the Pippins had a heart-to-heart last night about the walk number. And losing the first guy to a base on ball is not how you want to respond. Scherer will also run. He stole 2 bags last night. Squaring to bunt, Noah Scherer in his first at-bat of the night. McGuire misses upstairs, ball 1. Scherer also from Salem, Oregon. So a couple of local kids on offense right now for the Berries. The 1-0 pitch, bunt shown again. This breaker just downstairs, according to Perry Schofield. The zone a little tight to start this game. Scherer from Lynn Benton College. Batted .286 with the Roadrunners this last year. He's batting .268 for the Berries right now. 2-0, still trying to bunt. Here's a strike on the outer half by McGuire to make the count 2-1. At Lynn Benton, Scherer 46 hits, including 10 doubles and 2 triples. 2-1 the count. McGuire sends one in. It's bunted down by Scherer. Upton comes out from behind the plate. One play is to first. So Noah Scherer sacrifices Sawyer Nelson into scoring position. There's one away for Tyler Dunning. Score it 2-3 on the sacrifice bunt. Tyler Dunning, UCLA Bruin, just like his counterpart out in right field, Trey Godoy. Dunning playing shortstop, position that Rock Chalowski had pretty well held down. As here's a deep drive into left field. Miller ranging back at the track. It's over his head. Halfway between second and third was Nelson. He will round third and score easily. Tyler Dunning never stopped running out of the box. It's an RBI double to score the leadoff walk, and the Berries lead it 1-0. This ball was hit high and hard off the bat of Dunning. The wind didn't carry it out of here, but Miller got twisted around himself trying to go back and field it. That'll bring up Gavin Price with a man in scoring position and one away. Price batting .289 for the Berries. A big sweeping breaking ball drops in for strike one from McGuire. So Luke unable to keep that leadoff walk from scoring. And now a double replaces him out there at second base. Here's a half swing fouled off the bat of Gavin Price. Another breaking ball to make the count 0-2. Gavin Price attended George Fox earlier this spring. Batted 308 games, picking up 3 hits. McGuire looking back to second as he starts the motion. Misses high and away with a fastball. It's 1-2. With the Berries, he's playing in his 14th game. He's got 13 hits. He's also struck out 15 times. McGuire trying to keep Dunning close by at second. Breaking ball. Just missed outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. McGuire really trying to nibble at the outer half of the plate. The lefty keeping everything arm side right now. Trying not to have much break glove side to these right-handed bats. 2-2. Fastball, foul tip into the mitt. Down on strikes, Gavin Price. 2 away here in the frame, and the Pippins trying to limit damage. That'll bring up Matthew Major. He wears number 1 tonight, but he is normally number 7. Native of Troy, Ohio, the Tulane product. Batting .266 with the Berries. He's played in all but one of the Berries games this year. Breaking ball from McGuire, left outside, 1-0. So Major has been the most consistent part of the lineup for Tucker Brock and this Marion Berries squad. 1-0. Here's a fastball on the outer corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Major has hit 17 times, 2 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run. 1-1. Fastball outside, 2 balls and a strike. He makes contact around 55% of the time. And so McGuire trying to pitch to that. Major's home runs have both been out to right field. McGuire pitches him away again. It's 3-1. Going to be hard to get anything out to right field today if you're a right-handed bat. The wind is not helping you in that endeavor. The count 3-1. Runner at second is Tyler Dunning. The Berries lead at 1-0 here in the first inning. Breaking ball, hard chop past third, foul. And so the count runs full. And McGuire a strike away from only allowing that 1 run. Sawyer Nelson, a leadoff walk, was cashed in on an RBI double by Tyler Dunning. He stands at second base. And the payoff pitch from McGuire is a fastball outside for ball 4. So already 2 walks have been issued by Pippins pitching. Luke McGuire losing another righty, Matthew Major. Here comes Hudson Flora. Flora, the catcher in last night's contest. He is overplaying first base, as many catchers have the ability to do. McGuire's first pitch, a nice breaking ball right over the plate. 0-1 to Flora. Flora from Pleasanton, California. Incoming freshman. 0-1, breaking ball hard over to Daichi. He backs up, race to the bag. He steps, and out is Tyler Dunning. Daichi able to beat Tyler Dunning to the bag for the 5 unassisted. And the man who got the RBI double is out, number 3. The Berries score once on 1 hit. There were no errors And there were 2 left on the base pads after an inning of play. The Berries lead it 1-0 here in Salem. Come right back. This is Pippins Baseball.
We have Bro Blake and Max doing the track race. Let's go down around Mary and back. First one back win. Coming down. Bringing it up. Bring the quick man. Matt, we might spend a little yard. Oh, and we have the first from the game. It was presented by Select Cleaning and Restoration. When disaster steps up to the plate, count on Select Cleaning and Restoration for 24-hour emergency service and best-in-class restoration solutions.
Jackson Blank finishes his warm-ups here in the top of the second inning as the Marion Berries lead it 1-0 on the Yakima Valley Pippins here on a Saturday night. Parker Burt makes his return to the Pippins lineup after sliding awkwardly in his last time around the bases up in Edmonton on Sunday. Burt back in the lineup with that shoulder feeling much better, and his batting practice looked just like it should. A lot of hard hit contact, a lot of balls to the gaps, a couple went over the wall. Parker taking a first pitch down and in for ball 1. Burt, the designated hitter tonight. He's got home run power, though. He cranked a couple out in Edmonton before the injury. 1-0, half swing. It's called a strike by Perry Schofield, so 1 ball and 1 strike. He's the league leader in batting average still, playing in 14 games with a .467 batting average. 1-1, Burt fouls it off the plate and into his dugout. Over on the first base side. Scratch that, third base side. It's just like me holding up left and right, not figuring out which side it is. Third base, first base. Pippins in third, Berries in first. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Parker going to have to protect. He does so and punches it correctly from me over to the third base side. The boys in blue over there collecting a couple loose pearls. So Burt with 21 hits in 45 at-bats. 1-2 again over on the left side. This is a big turf hop past Nelson, the third baseman. Parker running hard, but backing up is the shortstop Dunning. And Parker Burt is out number 1 of the second. I didn't see if that made contact at all with Nelson's glove, so for now, call it just a simple 6-3, but very deep in the hole for that 6-3. Parker Burt making his way off the field here as Jay O'Neill will dig in. O'Neill played center field last night, but he is on the infield tonight. Second time he's been at second base this year. Batting .255 for the Pippins in his 12th game. Bunt shown, and the pitch down and away from Jackson Blank, having a little bit more success than the first time he saw Yakima Valley. He gave up a run in the first inning. Nick Velasquez scored on a Parker Burt attempt to steal. And then he gave up 1 run in the second as Jay swings through an upstairs fastball 1-1. The big blow for the Berries was in the third inning. The Pippins sent all 9 men to the plate and scored 5 times. 1-1. Jay back into the screen over on the left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pippins have a bat boy tonight. Pippins general manager Jordan Rowland and his family making the trip down. So his son Ralph down there doing the bat boy's duties. 1-2, skips in on the apron. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That'll be nice. Save a few steps for a couple of the guys that aren't in the lineup tonight. 2-2. Here's the pitch to Jay. He swings through a changeup. Second strikeout victim for Jackson Blank. And there's 2 down here in the second inning. Luis Garcia back in the lineup today. Got a day off yesterday. And so Garcia, who on the season batting .264, trying to make some noise here with 2 outs in the second frame. Breaking ball caught the outer black from Jackson Blank. It's 0-1. You can hear the wind ripping through up here on the roof of the press box. 0-1, a high breaking ball that Luis pounds on the ground to third. Nelson takes a few steps before delivering it across the diamond, but he delivers it in time. And another 1-2-3 frame pitched by Jackson Blank. No runs, no hits, no errors, no Pippins left on base. Inning and a half in the books. 1-0 Berries. We'll be right back here in Salem.
Here. Oh, long. Check out for our 5, 4. It's such a motivating tonight for a variety of Walmart classes. Much more. Especially to you can get Royland's case school. And that's a reminder where the baseball or making you play your in anytime. Bring it over.
Another breezy night here in Salem, Oregon. Taryn Carlson, Nolan Rowe, and Colin Lenteo will be the hitters for the Berries. They sent 6 up to the plate in the first inning. Luke McGuire out for his second inning of work. The Pippins trailing by 1-0. That was a quick between innings break. Luis Garcia, the last out of that frame, just now making it to his spot in center field. Taryn Carlson, the designated hitter, batting .276 on the season for the Marion Berries. Breaking ball high and away from McGuire starts him off 1-0. Carlson playing in his 11th game for the Berries. He's got 8 hits to his name, including a home run. Wave and a miss, a changeup that Carlson was ahead of. 1-1. Pippins come into this game on a 3-game losing streak. They trail by 1 right now. Here in the bottom of the second inning, here's a ground ball fair past Daichi, sneaking just past the bag. Carlson rounds second. Miller lackadaisically gets over to the corner. Finally gets it in, but it's a stand-up double for Taryn Carlson. Leadoff man aboard in both frames so far for the Berries. So here comes the former Pippin, Nolan Rowe. Rowe doing the catching tonight for the Marion Berries after playing third base last night. Playing in only his 4th game with the team, he's batting .250. Bunt shown, it's dropped down the third base line. It's going to roll back fair. Rowe stopped running. Daichi throws it over to first. So it ends up being a sacrificed bunt for Nolan Rowe that moves Carlson up to third. But that could have easily been an infield single as the turf rolled its way back fair territory. In the end, Rowe actually gets saved by the fact that he's out there because it doesn't cause a hit to his batting average with the sacrifice tag. The infield plays in. Here's Colin Lenteo. First pitch, a wave and a miss. No balls and a strike. First time we've seen Lenteo for the Pips. Lenteo, another righty to face the lefty Luke McGuire. A foul ball at the plate. 0-2, got a piece of Jackson Upton on the way by. Colin Lenteo from Danville, California, batting .200 with the Berries. He is also playing in just his 4th game with the club. Top of the order waits on deck with a man at third. The 0-2 pitch from McGuire, a breaking ball downstairs, stopped by Upton. Count is 1-2. Definitely the kind of night you want to be out on the field playing ball. It's about 70 degrees, the wind keeping you cool, but all my papers want to fly away from me. 1-2 on the ground, infield playing in. Daichi has it at third. The throw is high, the tag applied. Safe as Carlson able to slide around the tag of Upton. If the throw hadn't been high from Daichi, they might have had him. Pippins get the ground ball they want, but everybody's safe, and it's 2-0 Berries. Call it a fielder's choice for Linteo. And we're back to the top of the order, Sawyer Nelson. Man, you can't play the what-if game, but if Daichi had just kept that level, as McGuire starts off one of the few lefties in the order with a first pitch strike at the top of the zone, probably would have had Taron Carlson. He was running on contact. 0-1 fastball just tying away, 1-1. Nelson walked and scored back in the first inning, batting .294 coming into this game. Runner takes off at first. Here's a breaking ball from McGuire. The throw down is a good one by Upton, but sliding in with the right foot safely is Colin Linteo. These Berries run a lot. And you hope that for McGuire, a lefty, he's able to hold these on a little bit better. But to this point, he's already allowed a couple of stolen bags against him. 2-1, a hard drive down the right field line, but into the Berries bullpen. Bullpen's out in foul territory here at Chemeketa Community College. So the count moves to 2-2. McGuire's surrendered one run in every frame so far. He's got one out on the board and a man at second base. Here's a fastball up and in. The count will run full. McGuire, again, coming off of a start last Saturday where he went 7 2/3 innings scoreless in under 100 pitches. Payoff pitch. Fastball downstairs, ball 4. Sawyer Nelson has now drawn his 6th walk this series. Ridiculous numbers for Nelson getting on base against these Pippins. So here comes Noah Scherer. McGuire has issued 3 walks so far in the contest. He's also allowed 2 hits and a couple of sac bunts. First pitch here to Scherer, high and away, ball 1. There's just seemingly no ability to avoid those walks right now for these Pippins arms. Too many free passes. 1-0, breaking ball down and in, nearly got the back leg of Scherer. It's 2-0. And that'll force Jackson Upton out to the mound to have a talk with his starting hurler. Well, again, I mentioned it last night that the Pippins had way too many walks. And then after the game, as I was waiting to do the post-game interview, there was a discussion down out beyond third base about just how many walks have been allowed and how those set you up for a little bit more of a tough day at the ballpark. That's verbatim. That's not word for word, but Pippin's arms need to limit the walks. Coach Crustangel saying during that talk he'd much rather see guys give up 15 hits than 15 walks. 2-0. After the visit, a strike from Luke McGuire on the outer half, 2-1. And that's not to say that the Pippins offense can't come and explode for a big inning, but Jackson Blank so far has sent 6 up and 6 down. We're in the bottom of the second inning, 2-0 Berries. 2-1 pitch is skied over on the right side, but well out of play. So McGuire gets to an even 2-2 in the count. Luke does have a strikeout victim tonight. Looking for his second one of those. He struck out 7 in that outing up in Edmonton last Saturday. 2-2, runners at first and second. Breaking ball fouled off the body of Noah Scherer. He saw the bend and decided to take a hack at it. Just couldn't put it in fair territory. McGuire working hard here in the second inning of this ball game. Pippins and Berries just underway. The 2-2 pitch. A changeup diving down and away. The count will run full with only one out. You've got the second baseman, Linteo, who stole a bag to get there, and then Sawyer Nelson at first, who's been on seemingly every at-bat, and that is true. He's been on in every chance he's had this series. Payoff pitch, the runners take off. It's a foul ball cued off the back foot of Noah Scherer. Second time he's fouled one off his body. Both runners probably had their bags stolen. But instead, we'll do it again at 3-2 with one away. Pippins have 19 double plays turned on the season. Maybe a ground ball here could spark a little bit of a fight from the Pippins. Here's the payoff. This one into the Pippins dugout. That's bounced behind by Noah Scherer. So we'll have a third payoff pitch. You can already feel the pressure that these walks have forced the Pippins into. Here it comes from McGuire. Wave and a miss. A breaking ball downstairs. 2 strikeouts for McGuire. There's 2 away. And now, just looking for one more out here in the second with Tyler Dunning, who got the RBI double to get the scoring started for the Berries back in the first frame. There's a little bit more of that wind that's whipping through here at the ballpark. First pitch, fastball, got the upper outer corner. So it's no balls and a strike. Dunning the shortstop tonight. A 1 pitch, breaking ball that looked like it caught the outside part, but it's called ball 1 from Perry Schofield. I said it last night that outside half of the plate going to be pretty hard to see when righties are up because you've got Perry Schofield and the catcher Jackson Upton blocking my view here just off the left shoulder on the roof here at Chemeketa. A changeup swung on and missed on a down and away pitch. Dunning trying to find a opposite field hit that would have scored a run. He's down to his final strike here in the second. Pippin's trying to limit the damage to just 1. That would feel like a mini victory. McGuire set at the letters. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Downstairs, 2-2. Pippin's defense hasn't really had to work too much. The 3 strikeouts out of the 2 strikeouts are 2 of the 5, and then you've got a couple of sack bunts. Those are usually fairly routine. 2-2 drilled out towards right field. Godoy backpedaling. He's onto the track. He makes the catch. And Tyler Dunning is out number 3 of the second inning. Only 1 run comes home to score on 1 hit by the Berries. There's no errors. And there were, again, 2 runners left on the base pads. We go to the third inning. 2-0 Marion Berries. We'll be right back here in Salem.
Right. Yeah, One. Swing with rubber. Two more points. Four. There we go. Coach really high. Up to left out of the back. Scoring 4-0. Looks like Hank and Seamus won today.
Pippins back up to bat here in the third inning. Glad you're with us on this Saturday night. 7:20 p.m. here in the Pacific time zone. The sun slowly setting behind my back at this southwest or southeastern oriented ballpark here at Chemeketa Community College. I'm Harmon Johnsen, your voice of the Yakima Valley Pippins. Pips trail 2-0. Trey Godoy bats for the first time. First pitch, high and tight to Trey. Trey picked up his first hit as a Yakima Valley Pippin during the series against the Bend Elks. And he would have had his first RBI if Jay O'Neill hadn't been thrown out from right field trying to score from second. Next offering, down and in, 2 balls and no strikes. And so Trey officially 1 for 9 on his 2 games he's played. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts for Godoy. Half swing on a pitch that was downstairs. Trey knew it. It's 2-1. Getting on base at a 222 clip thanks to 1 walk. Trey trying to limited strikeouts early on here in the summer season. 2-1. Upstairs. 3 balls and a strike. Godoy with his fellow Bruin out there at shortstop. Tyler Dunning. You'd love to see this incoming sophomore make an impact for the Pippins. He slices one into the netting on the left side to make it 3-2. Going back to a program in UCLA that's going to be highly touted again next year. Of course, the Bruins getting upset in their home regional, failing to make it to the Supers. 3-1. Breaking ball, got him. Godoy swung right through it. 3 strikeouts for Jackson Blank. So that'll bring up Jackson Upton. Battle of Jacksons here. Upton from Vancouver, Washington. This is his 3rd game he's played in. He does not yet have a hit, although he did draw a walk in last night's game. Upton has thrown on a pair of batting gloves tonight as he sends one over top of the screen and into the seating area. No balls and a strike. Upton did not wear batting gloves last night. Jackson doing the catching tonight for Luke McGuire. The 0-1, a breaking ball, Upton backing away. It was inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jackson dons the number 51. Standing straight up in that right-hand batter's box, he sends one straight back into the netting to make the count 0-2. Folks here hoping for a strikeout from Upton because, as you might be able to hear, he is their chosen beer batter tonight. 1-2 from Blank. Half swing, and Perry Schofield is going to say that Upton went around, didn't even ask for help. The tag applied by Nolan Rowe, and back-to-back strikeouts by Jackson Blank. This will bring up Cole Hubka. Pippins being perfect gamed against right now. Hubka from Wilsonville, Oregon. First pitch, he drills into the left center field gap, ranging over Matthew Major. Not going to get there. It's all the way to the wall. Cole Hubka racing around second. He will stand up there. First hit of the ballgame for the Pippins as a 2-out double by Cole Hubka in the 3rd inning. And now we go back to the top of the order. Tyson Miller trying to get the Pippins' first run across. Tyson Miller grounded out to third base back in the first inning. And so Tyson looking to get on for the first time. He was on 4 times yesterday, a single and 3 walks. Both leadoff men for these two teams have been doing good work as Tyson throws a bunt down. Did he go around? No, he did not, according to Derek Dunbar. 1-0 with 2 outs. It's an interesting strategy for Yakima Valley, trying to draw the defense in a little bit. If Tyson can drop one fair, he does have speed to beat it out at first. 1-0, not showing this time. The pitch down and in, 2 balls and no strikes. Blank was cruising through 2 2/3. Now let's see if the Pippins can apply some pressure. Yakima Valley, as a team, hitting .265. That has dropped over the last week or so. 2-0. Tyson slices it through the left side and into left field. Cole Hubka getting the wave over at third. The throw will be cut off by the first base or the third baseman Nelson. They throw out Tyson trying to score or trying to get to second, but the run will score. Cole Hubka crosses the plate. The Pippins make it a 1-run ball game on an RBI single by Tyson Miller. We go to the bottom of the third, 2-1 Berries here in Salem.
I'm down here with Jordan reserved on the first base side. Oh, plate and a bag of goodies from the requests. And then they have fresh for all his night needs. Man, look, just fine. You're up for meeting on rest. And I'm going to the game. Everybody season tickets. This could be young. Hey, Barry fans, it's cool that we're bringing in play like it, but we're very face off. So we love having you with us. Can't always make it to every home game. Whenever you can't make it work, be sure to tune in on our live stream on YouTube. Very safe site. We will catch full action.
Yakima Valley gets on the board here in Salem as a couple of hits lead to a run. Cole Hubka doubled. Tyson Miller singled out into left field. And then he was thrown out trying to advance onto second base. So it's 2-1 as Luke McGuire will face the middle 3 in the Berries order. Gavin Price, Matthew Major, and Hudson Flora. 2 of those 3 got on in the first inning as Gavin Price swings through the first pitch he sees down and away for strike 1. So the Pippins break the goose egg. 8 had gone up, 8 had been set down, and then back-to-back hits for Yakima Valley. Maybe that'll get them rolling into the middle frames. McGuire trying to hang a 0 for the first time today as he throws a changeup down and away to make the count 1-1. McGuire with the glove in his face, winds and sends it home. A sky-high pop-up on the infield. Who wants it over on the right side? Velasquez fighting the wind, drifting to his right, makes the catch. A major league pop-up is out number 1 here in the third inning. Here comes Matthew Major, who drew a walk back in the first inning. Nick didn't have to fight the sun on that, just the swirling winds above the ballpark as they blow basically straight out to left field. First pitch, a changeup inside. Called a strike by Perry Schofield. Matthew Major down in the count 0-1. I have to keep a hand on my scorebook at all times, otherwise the page is going to flip over and I'm going to be writing on the wrong page as here's a fly ball down the right field line. Is it going to stay in play for Velasquez? Well, it did, but it dropped down just shy of his glove. A couple of hats went flying off. Godoy and Velasquez lost their lids. Field umpire Derek Dunbar gathers it up and hands it back to Nick over there at first. McGuire behind in the or ahead in the count 0-2. Out of the wind, here's the pitch. Breaking ball sent out to center field. Garcia didn't even have to move. Puts the glove up and makes the catch. 2 away. Hudson Flora reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning, but that was all he got to do because Tyler Dunning was forced out at third base to end the inning. So he stepped on first, and that was it. Flora officially 0 for 1 today, although he's been on base in that one trip. First pitch, breaking ball. McGuire competing now as he fires it in for a strike, 0-1. Reclining here in my folding chair up in the makeshift press box. A breaking ball from Luke is in there 0-2 at the knees. Flora down to his final strike. Boy, what an energizer it would be if the Pippins can go get the berries 1-2-3 here. McGuire winds the 0-2 fastball down and away. Pippins scored their first run in the top half of this inning. They need to hang a donut here and get back to the sticks. 1-2. Fastball down and away again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The breaking ball seems to be a pitch that McGuire can control a little bit better so far today. Here comes the 2-2. He went with a fastball. It's downstairs again, and the count quickly runs full. Luke shakes off the first couple of pitches Upton requests. Here comes the payoff. Breaking ball late on the swing as Flora as he sends it out on the right side. I ditched my sunscreen on these folding chairs, and so you can hear the wind just a little bit more. Second payoff pitch. Corked out to center field. Garcia racing back. He's looking up. He's on the track. This is up against the base of the wall. Garcia throws it in quickly, but not in time to get Flora as it's a stand-up double for the first baseman. That thing was drilled to dead center field. The wind not carrying it. So Flora just going to have to settle for a double. The man at the plate now had a double to lead off the second inning, Taryn Carlson. Berries have had a man in scoring position in every inning now. First pitch fouled over towards the Pippins dugout. It's 0-1. They must have put something in the pulled pork mac and cheese with house-made Marionberry barbecue sauce that I ate before the game. I'm getting everything mixed up here. 0-1 pitch, a breaking ball at the knees. It's 0-2. It was really good. Maybe that's what's happening. I'm slipping slowly into a food coma, and by the 7th inning, you're just going to hear crowd noise. McGuire well ahead in the count here. The 0-2 pitch, high and away, ball 1. He had Flora 0-2 and then lost him to a full count double. McGuire needing to finish the job right here. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball got him inside. Upton held on to the ball. And so it's a third strikeout for Luke McGuire to send us to the top of the 4th inning. No runs. There was 1 hit, no errors, and 1 berry left on base. We go to the middle frames. It's 2-1. Marion Berries here at Chemeketa Community College.
Liver back. Difference.
Daichi Furuhata leads it off here in the top of the fourth inning. Thanks for joining me on this Saturday night. I'm Harmon Johnsen. Down here in Salem, Oregon, Chemeketa Community College baseball field. The Pippins trail 2-1 here on this Saturday night contest. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Pippins. Good opportunity to tie or take the lead. It's 1 run on 2 hits, no errors for the Pippins so far. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors for the Berries to this point. Pippins in those light blue road uniforms with white numerals. Berries wearing purple tops and white pants tonight. First pitch from Jackson Blank is down and away. A hard fastball to Daichi Furuhata. Struck out back in the first inning, and then Nolan Rowe completed the play onto first base. So Daichi looking for his first hit today. 1-0, pounded off the plate and back to the backstop. 1-1 on the foul ball. Well, last night I had to put on one jacket. There might be 2 that go on tonight. I'm wearing long sleeves and then the Pippins hooded t-shirt that we get every year. As Daichi sends one the opposite way down into right field through for a base hit. So 3 straight hits dating back to the 3rd inning for Yakima Valley. Tyson Miller was thrown out trying to advance onto second. Here comes Nick Velasquez. He had 2 doubles last night. Daichi on base in back-to-back nights after getting a night off on Thursday. First pitch, Velasquez stings it out to center field. Scherer, ranging over to his right, continues to move over. He leaps and makes the catch. Daichi will return to first base. 1 away here in the 4th. Parker Burt, who certainly has the opportunity to turn this game on its head right here. He's got the bat strength and the power to do so. Grounded out to the shortstop back in the 2nd inning. That was deep in the 5-6 hole. The third baseman, Nelson, didn't handle it cleanly, but he had his shortstop there to back him up. Here's a fastball spiked in the dirt. Daichi going to move up to second base on a wild pitch. So the count 1-0. Burt finds himself ahead. Tying run stands in scoring position for Yakima Valley. 1-0, high and away, 2 balls, no strikes. You've got Jay O'Neill waiting on deck as well. He's certainly more than capable of helping turn this game around. 2-0, a sky-high, shallow fly into center field. Daichi right at the bag as Scherer comes in to make the catch. No tag by Furuhata. Back-to-back flies to center field. So Parker 0 for 2 today in his return to the diamond. Here's Jay O'Neill. O'Neill struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. He has yellow shoes and yellow gloves that stand out against his blue top and black bat. First pitch, a strike right over the heart of the plate, 0-1. O'Neill from Federal Way, Washington. 0-1 up at the letters. It's 0-2. Jay in the transfer portal after a successful season at Georgia Gwinnett. He also spent a couple years at Yakima Valley College. One of the best outfielders from this region in his class. The 0-2, a high breaking ball. This is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. O'Neill in the mix for a couple of different schools and hopefully ends up in a spot that he is happy with. 1-2, wave and a miss. He's down on strikes. The Pippins squander a leadoff single, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 Pippin left on the base pads. 3.5 complete. 2-1 the score here in Salem. Berries lead it to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the fourth frame here in Salem. The Pippins trail the Marion Berries by a score of 2-1. Nolan Rowe, Colin Linteo, and Sawyer Nelson due up here in the fourth frame. Berries unable to score in the third frame. First time they hadn't scored in this game. They got one in the first, one in the second. Pippins got one in the third. Nolan Rowe leads it off. He had a sacrifice bunt back in the second inning that he thought was going to go foul and ended up staying fair, and he was thrown out at first base. Luke McGuire, his first pitch, right over the heart of the plate to Nolan Rowe, 0-1. Nolan wrapped up his freshman year at Washington. Redshirted, did not play, but was part of the travel roster for the Huskies. 0-1 fastball, just a bit outside, 1-1. And so for Nolan, a little bit more seasoned on the road. Seen a lot more baseball than he did coming into the Pippins at the end of the year last year. 1-1. Breaking ball drops below the knees of Nolan Rowe for a 2-1 count. There's a little bit more of the wind from my outdoor broadcast position. 2-1 out of the wind for McGuire. A changeup swung through by Rowe. Moves the count to 2-2. Luke looking for a fourth strikeout. Not going to get it as it's a line drive over the head of O'Neill at second base, down for a hit. Rowe digs hard around first, but he'll slam on the brakes. It's a third inning with a leadoff hit. Third of 4 tonight for the Berries. Should say leadoff runner. It was a double in the second, a single here in the fourth, and a walk by Sawyer Nelson to lead off the frames with base runners. Those two frames are the frames that the Berries have scored in. Colin Linteo grounded into a fielder's choice as he lays a bunt down here over towards third. Daichi going to have one play, scoops and throws on to first, out. A third sacrifice bunt laid down by these Marion Berries. And so Rowe moves into scoring position at second for the top of the batting order with only one away. Sawyer Nelson has walked twice in this game. This is after walking 4 times and being hit once last night. He was 1 for 1 with a single. McGuire coming set at the letters, foot on the third base side of the rubber, drops a breaking ball for ball 1. Looked fairly good from my position. But Luke falls behind in the count, 1-0. This next breaking ball is up and in to Nelson. And so it's 2 balls, no strikes. Nelson just seemingly has a magnet pushing the ball away from the strike zone when he's up at the plate. 6 walks in the series, and he's about to draw a 7th as McGuire misses down and away. 3 balls and no strikes. Hard to believe that he has good exit velocity numbers when all he does, it seems, is draw walks. 3-0 pitch. Breaking ball made him throw a strike. There it is, 3-1. Pippins have just struggled to even pitch to Sawyer Nelson, let alone get him out. They haven't yet. Breaking ball bends inside. It's a third walk of the night for Sawyer Nelson, and boy, is that getting old to call. Nelson walks, Nelson walks, Nelson walks. I'm sure he won't complain too much, considering the fact that his on-base percentage has probably risen about 200 points in these 2 games. Here's Noah Scherer with runners at first and second and 1 out. Pippins have turned 19 double plays this year. First pitch, a wave and a miss as the bottom drops out of a breaking ball. 0-1. Scherer today is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a sacrifice bunt. Center fielder in this contest. 0-1. Breaking ball. Man, where did that miss? Looked fairly good right there at the letters. 1-1. Perry Schofield with a noticeably tighter zone tonight than Derek Dunbar did last night. McGuire looks out at second base. Now he spins and throws that way. 1 ball and 1 strike, still the count. McGuire takes a look back to second base, takes a second look. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball high and away, 2 balls and a strike. Well, McGuire pitch count getting elevated. Pippins bullpen will go to work. Gus Musial standing up down there along with a couple other right arms. 2-1. You've got the lead man Rowe at second. On the ground very slowly, foul past third base. Pippins dugout will end up with it. So the count moves to 2-2. Scherer trying to avoid being the 4th strikeout victim from McGuire. The 2-2 pitch, a breaking ball that stays upstairs. The count runs full. We'll see if the runners are off at all. With 1 out earlier in the contest in this situation, they sent the runners. You don't normally see it with 1 out. But this Berries team loves to run. Not going. The payoff pitch is foul past third base and out towards the Pippins bullpen in left field. So we'll do it again with the count full. Pip's just looking for a ground ball. 3-2, down and away, ball 4. Back-to-back walks issued by Luke McGuire. And the bags are full for the Berries. We're an hour into the contest. Tyler Dunning, 1 for 2 today, trying to pop the top off here in the first half of the game. So far, the Pippins have been able to strand 5 Berries. They're going to have to strand 3 more here. Tough situation to get out of with only 1 away. Breaking ball, strike 1, drops into Tyler Dunning on the inside half of the plate. Dunning had an RBI double back in the first inning and then was the force out on a fielder's choice hit into by Hudson Flora. Corner infield plays in for the Pippins. Middle infield plays back for the double play. Another breaking ball in the inner half, swung right through by Dunning. So he falls behind in the count 0-2. McGuire today with 5 walks issued, only 3 strikeouts. He's given up 4 hits. 0-2, corked into left center field. Miller ranging over to his left, makes the catch, finding the sun. Tagging at third is Nolan Rowe. He will score. Everybody else stays put. It's a sacrifice fly for Tyler Dunning, and the Berries grab a 2-run lead. It's 3-1. An important thing is there's 2 outs now, and runners are at first and second. Bad news, it's the cleanup man, Gavin Price, who is 0 for 2 today, and a guy that's 0 for 2 coming up for the 3rd time in 4 innings usually means a lot of traffic. Breaking ball, outside half this time, and it's ball 1. Pippins are going to shift for Gavin Price to push the ball on the infield on the right side. McGuire tries to pitch him outside again. The breaking ball stays away. It's 2-0. McGuire shakes off a couple of pitches before coming set at the letters. Runners take off. A fastball. They're going to throw down to second to try to get the trail guy, and they do. Noah Scherer is thrown out trying to steal second. Sawyer Nelson does steal third, but the Pippins get out of the frame with a very interesting decision by the Berries. Caught stealing is Noah Scherer. 1 run comes across on 1 hit, and only 1 run left on the base pads. We go to the 5th inning, 3-1 Berries here in Salem.
It's time. Right, give it up. Sorry. Right.
Welcome back to Salem, Oregon. Top of the 5th frame between the Pippins and the Berries. Marion leads it 3-1, scoring in every frame but the 3rd. The Pippins put up 1 run in the 3rd, and so there's been at least 1 run in every inning. 3 of them by Salem, 1 of them by Yakima Valley. Luis Garcia, Trey Godoy, and Jackson Upton are the scheduled hitters here in the 5th against Jackson Blank. First pitch to Garcia, misses outside ball 1. Hard ground ball for Garcia back in the 2nd inning as he grounded out to the 3rd baseman Nelson. Pippins have only left 1 man on the base pads. They just have not had traffic at all as the next pitch dances down and in across the shoe tops. 2 balls and no strikes. In fact, the only 3 base runners the Pippins have been their 3 hits. Cole Hubka with a double. He scored on an RBI single by Tyson Miller, but he was thrown out trying to extend it into a double. Luis shoots one down the right field line. This is going to stay fair and trickle all the way down towards the pole. Rounding first and diving into second base is Luis Garcia. The Pippins have a 4th hit today. They have a 2nd double and a leadoff man aboard here in the 5th inning. Hard hit by Luis, and the right fielder Price was playing Luis to pull to the right side for him, the left side of the diamond as we see it from our vantage point. So Trey Godoy bats with a man in scoring position, looking for his 2nd hit as a Pippin. He's 1 for 9 after striking out back in the 3rd inning. Down and in, 1 ball and no strikes from Jackson Blank. Blank gave up 7 runs on 7 hits in 2 2/3 innings up in Yakima earlier this month. A much more improved start for Blank, but the Pippins trying to apply pressure here. 2 balls and no strikes as the fastball misses high and away. So the Pippins' only base runner that was left stranded was Daichi Furuhata, who singled and advanced to second base on a wild pitch. Try to cash in Luis here. 2-0, high, 3 balls and no strikes. If Godoy could draw a walk, you'd have the tying runs on base ahead of Jackson Upton. 3-0 pitch from Blank. Misses down and in with a breaking ball. It's a 4-pitch walk to Trey Godoy, his second walk drawn as a Yakima Valley Pippin. So now Coach Crustangel is going to call an offensive timeout as Nolan Rowe heads out to the mound to talk with Jackson Blank. Upton, Hubka, Garcia, Godoy, and Coach Panch will all get together and talk strategy here. The Pippins trying to tie or take the lead. We'll see if Upton is bunting at all. We've seen just as a trend the last couple times the Pippins have taken an offensive timeout that usually, because Coach Krusty usually takes them with nobody out, he'll have the guy that's up at the plate bunting and then try to get something going with the next man, who in this case is Cole Hubka, who has a double back in the third inning. We'll see what Upton's doing here. There he squares, and he pulls back as the pitch is down and away, ball one. So the Pippins seemingly are trying to bunt a couple runners into scoring position. Garcia at second, Godoy at first. They represent the tying runs. Upton squares, Blank, and now Upton bunts it down up the third base line. Blank off the mound, throws it high, coming back down on the bag is Flora, the first baseman. Successful sacrifice for Jackson Upton. He does his job perfectly, and now the Pippins have two in scoring position and only one away. Score at 1-3 on the sacrifice bunt. Cole Hubka. If he could get a double like he did back in the third inning, this game will be tied. Hit column knotted at 4. Cole waving and missing. Just late on a changeup. It's 0-1. Hubka playing shortstop today. Did not play in last night's contest. 0-1, stung on the ground out towards second. This will score a run. Linteo sends it on to first, and Luis Garcia scores. RBI ground out for Cole Hubka. And now there's 2 away for the top of the Pippins order. So the Pippins draw back within 1. Trey Godoy moves up to third base. Hubka able to execute and get a ball over on the right side, allowing his man to come home and score. Time called, a new pearl requested by Jackson Blank. Even despite all the traffic that the Pippins have allowed on the base paths for the Berries, they're still hanging around in this one, trailing only by 1. The score is 3-2. Miller squaring to bunt here with 2 outs and a man at third, and the pitch stays upstairs 1-0. Tyson hit a single back in the third inning, and that was able to drive home Hubka for the first score for Yakima Valley. 1-0, Tyson a half swing, called a ball right now, appeal down to Derek Dunbar in the C position. He says no swing. So Tyson ahead in the count 2-0. Daichi Furuhata waits on deck. Blank having to work here in the 5th. His 2-0 pitch is a strike on the outer half. Went with a changeup. It's now 2-1. Godoy 90 feet away, looking to try to tie this game. Rowe has to be a wall behind the dish. 2-1. There's a ball in the dirt. Rowe able to smother it. But the count moves to 3-1. If Tyson could reach, you might see the Pippins try to steal second. Blank ready. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. Tyson Miller draws his first walk of the day. He's been on twice. And now the question is, will he be running? Daichi Furuhata digs into the right-hand batter's box, but first we're going to get a visit out on the hill for the Berries. Pitching staff down in the bullpen watching what appears to be a left-handed reliever warm up. Easily the biggest moment of the game right now for the Pippins. As they're within striking distance, they have runners at first and third with 2 outs. The tying run at third, the go-ahead run over at first. Perry Schofield, the home plate umpire, out to the mound to break up this meeting. The entire infield returns to their spots. And now Daichi digs back into the right-hand side. Furuhata struck out back in the first inning, singled in the fourth inning, was left stranded at second base. See if Tyson's off. He is not. The pitch is high and away, ball 1. Furuhata is the team leader in runs with 24. RBI inching closer and closer to 20. There goes Tyson. The pitch is downstairs. Rowe blocks it. He'll pump fake and keep it in his back pocket. Stolen base for Tyson Miller puts him in scoring position. Now a base hit for Daichi gives the Pippins the lead. Ahead in the count, 2-0. The Japanese native waits. Here comes the pitch from Blank. It's down and away, ball 3. A walk loads the bases ahead of Nick Velasquez, who was 0 for 2 today, but had some hard contact yesterday with 2 doubles. 3 balls and no strikes. Blank fires. Upstairs, ball 4. 3 walks issued in the frame for Jackson Blank. So now it's time for Nick Velasquez. Velasquez came into this game batting .344. He has 21 hits, 6 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs. He's got 19 RBI. First pitch to him is high and tight, ball 1. 5 straight have missed. 4 straight to Daichi, now 1 here to Nick. Velasquez will be patient. 1-0, 2 balls and no strikes after the pitch comes upstairs. A walk is an RBI for Nick Velasquez. Hub could ground it out to drive home the second run of the game for the Pippins. Trying to tie over there at third, Trey Godoy. Behind him, Tyson Miller. At first, Daichi Furuhata. 2-0, a strike thrown at the knees to get into the count here for Jackson Blank. Velasquez crowding the plate on the left side. Blank, a deep breath, set at the belly button. A fastball blown right by Nick as he swings through it 2-2. Velasquez going to have to shorten up and protect. Nick been a consistent force in the Pippins order. 2 balls and 2 strikes with the bags full of pips. Wave and a miss, a changeup, tag applied, and the inning comes to a close. The Pippins score 1. They only trail by 1, but they leave the bags full thanks to 3 walks issued by Jackson Blank. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, 3 left on. We're halfway home here in Chemeketa. 3-2 the score. The Berries still lead here in Salem.
Let it fly in the hole, whether it's water, fire, or mold. Salem Cleaning and Restoration has proudly served our community since 1979 with 24-hour emergency restoration and specialty cleaning. Delivering best-in-class services and extraordinary experiences to all way. Mutual Northwest Salem can help you build the right financial game plan. Financial planning brings the right insurance to the business. So that you can spend more time doing the law. Welcome to play with confidence about your financial future. Head to salem.nm.com for information.
makes you stink, right? No. Okay, not that I know. Okay, that would be wild. Bottom of the fifth frame here in Salem. The Pippins bring on a new pitcher. It's Gus Musial. Made his first appearance a couple of nights ago against the Bend Elks when a 1 1/3, giving up 4 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 hits. Pitched with the Pippins for 3 innings in 2025. He's been with the Yakima Valley Yaks the last 2 years. And as he settles in to face Gavin Price, I'll pull up some of the scores from the West Coast League. Usual a right-hander following Luke McGuire, who went 4 innings, giving up the 3 runs. His first pitch to Price is a strike on the outer half. In Port Angeles, the lefties lead the Harbor Cats 5-4 in the top of the 5th inning. In Bend, the Elks lead the Kelowna Falcons 4-3 after getting shelled last night. 0-1, a pitch down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. That game in the top of the 6th. Down in Springfield, scoreless in the bottom of the 6th inning between the Portland Pickles and the Springfield Drifters. Hard to believe that. Bottom of the 4th in Wenatchee, it's 7-4 Night Owls. Apple Sox took game 1. 1-1. Down and away to Price, 2 balls and a strike. Bottom of the 5th inning in Bellingham, the Bells lead the North Paws 7-0 in that contest. Top of the 6th in Ridgefield, the Raptors lead the Sweets by a narrow margin 3-2. Foul ball back to the screen. It's 2-2 to Gavin Price. And in the top of the 3rd inning at Goff Stadium in Corvallis, the Edmonton Riverhawks lead it 2-1 over the Corvallis Knights. So a couple of scores looking to try to even some series. Pippin's trying to even the series tonight. 3-2 the score. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Price sends it foul over towards the community area here at the ballpark. 2-2. Just so happens to be Gavin Price's number as well, 2-2. Pippins and Berries, 4 runs apiece. The only difference right now is the scoreboard, 3-2 in favor of the Marion Berries. Price, a hard line drive into the screen down the left field line. Pippins bullpen going to gather up that pearl. It's Price, Major, and Flora due up here in the frame. Usual sends home his 2-2 pitch. Change up, wave and a miss. 1 up and 1 down against Gus Musial. Second time Gavin Price has struck out. This will bring up Matthew Major, 0 for 1 with a fly out and a walk. Major wearing number 1 tonight, usually wears number 7. For whatever reason, in the purple uniform tonight, he is wearing number 1. First pitch, a foul ball off the knob of the bat. 0-1. A little bit of a mess up there by Matthew Major. Pitch was well inside. He just did not stop himself from extending the knob of the bat into the zone. 0-1. Usual got a foul ball, and this got a big piece of Upton. He crumples flat to the ground and now is up on one knee as the training staff heads out to talk with the Pippins catcher. That might have got him in an uncomfortable place. He's standing up. Coach Crustangel has his hand on his back. Hands on knees for Upton as he kind of shakes out the lower body. That's an ouchie. All the gentlemen in the room know what I'm talking about. Upton continues to shake out his legs, and Perry Schofield going to give him as much time as possible by requesting a couple more baseballs. He went out and had a conversation with Gus Musial, and now the home plate umpire looking out for the man protecting him. Asks one more, "Are you all right?" Says, "Let's play ball again, boys. It's no balls and two strikes." Matthew Major behind in the count. Musial fires in from the stretch, swung on and missed. A changeup on the outer half. Back-to-back strikeouts by Gus. And the order moves down to Hudson Flora. Flora grounded into a fielder's choice back in the first inning. He doubled in the third inning. UC Santa Barbara product. First pitch from Gus downstairs, 1-0. Good to see Gus back. He joined the team back on Tuesday. Only pitched in 3 innings last year for the Pippins. Was primarily a home game type guy. Didn't travel much. 1-0. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. But again, it's so rewarding for me as the broadcaster that I see guys that were with us momentarily last year, didn't seem like very long, and they say, "Hi, how are you?" and ask how you been. 2-0. There's a strike from Gus, a changeup on the heart of the plate, 2-1. And Gus is just a great guy to be around. He's got that constant energy and kind of a quiet confidence about him. He's been used in a closing role at Yakima Valley College. 2-1 downstairs, 3 balls and a strike. After a couple of strikeouts, Gus falls behind 3-1. But Gus trying to rebound after a tough outing against the Elks a couple nights ago. 3-1. There's a strike on the inside corner. Count runs full here with 2 outs. Flora had taken a step down to first base, but he's quested back into the box. Musial coming set at the belly button. The 3-2 pitch, down and away. A breaking ball got away from him. It's ball 4. So the walks continue to persist for the Pippins. That is now 6 that they have given to the Berries tonight. The nice part about that walk, though, is it comes with 2 outs. So not quite as hard to get out of. Here's Taryn Carlson. He's doubled and struck out, also scored a run. Musial with a slide step on the ground over to first. Nick's going to step right on the bag. And the side is over. No runs on no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on base for the Berries. We go to the 6th frame. Pippins trail by 1, 3-2 here in Salem.
All right. They're gonna go and they're gonna put another point in this game, but it's fun to watch. They're back out. They're gonna give it 3 chances. 3 chances. All right. Next one. And oh, the close pass. All right. This one's in. Don't listen, knocked it out. Both of you have to jump right before you hit each other. Ready? Physics. Hit it up for red. Hit for their feet.
Welcome back to Chemeketa Community College. I'm Harmon Johnsen, your voice of the Yakima Valley Pippins. Top of the sixth inning. Parker Burt, Jay O'Neill, and Luis Garcia due up against the new pitcher for the Marion Berries. This is Roman Mahler, making his first appearance on the season for the Berries. Left-handed arm, low three-quarter action, misses downstairs for ball one to Parker Burt. Mahler from Oakview, California, 6', 175 out there on the hill. So Jackson Blank goes 5 innings. He's in line for the win, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, as Parker takes a slider inside, 2 balls and no strikes. The arm slot very unique for Mahler. He stands straight up and down on the third base side of the rubber and then drops down to a complete submarine on the way to the plate. Parker taking, looks to be ball 3. There was no signal. Now hands go up by Perry Schofield. 3 balls and no strikes. The pitch was low. It was a slider. So Burt looking to draw a leadoff walk. The pitch. Parker stands straight up, and there's strike 1. See if Parker can find a hit after getting about a week off with an injury. Ground out and a fly out so far. 3-1 from Roman Mahler. Down and away, ball 4. Burt will toss the bat back towards his on-deck circle. So Parker back on the base pads for the first time in what seems like an eternity. Here's Jay O'Neill. Parker likely not stealing. He does have catcher's speed. Folks donning their sweatshirts and all the other extra layers tonight. O'Neill takes a first pitch strike at the knees. Very slow out of the left hand of Mahler, who goes submarine. I threw on the blue Pippins hoodie. I've still got the fleece line jacket just in case. 0-1. Jay shoots it down the left field line. Is it going to stay fair? The answer is no. It bounces up against the fence of the Pippins bullpen. And so O'Neill behind in the count 0-2. Parker retreating back to first base. Parker is the tying run in this game. O'Neill has struck out twice. Pippins trail 3-2. We're in the top of the 6th frame. 0-2, slow slider out towards shallow center field. Scherer coming on, still moving in. He makes the catch. Parker will retreat again. 1 away here in the 6th. Jay picked up his own bat. And so the young bat boy there for the Pippins didn't have any reason to go out. Ralphie had sent him out there to get the bat, but Jay cleaned up after himself. Here's Luis Garcia with a double and a run scored back in the 5th. High and away, fastball from Mahler. 1-0. It's certainly a different arm angle than you're used to seeing. You saw the Pippins during the Bend series struggle to face Alex Figueroa, who is a similar arm angle just from the right side. This is a left-handed submariner. Ball all the way to the backstop as Luis Garcia does his best Michael Jackson impression to avoid getting hit. It's 2-0 the count. Parker Burt moves up to second base on the wild pitch. Well, there's the man in scoring position for you if you're Yakima Valley. See if Luis can find another one of those doubles. Give Parker a chance to stretch his legs. 2-0. This is shot out and toward right center field. Scherer ranging back. It's the right fielder Price who gets over there to make the catch. Parker not tagging. So there's 2 away, and Pippins have a man at second base for Trey Godoy. Off the bat, it looked like Garcia had gotten that pretty well into the gap, but thinking back on that, Price was shaded over. So it was much more of a routine catch than my call made it sound. Lefty-lefty matchup. Here's Trey Godoy. Trey struck out and walked. He was left at third base back in the 5th inning. First pitch fastball right at the knees. It's 0-1. Parker, a leadoff man on the base pad, standing at second after a wild pitch. Pippins need one to tie. Godoy watches a very slow slider outside. 1-1 strike. Big shadow being cast over the infield, stretching all the way to the outfield fence by a tree behind the press box. Everywhere else still in bright sunshine. 1-1. Trey very slowly out towards first base. Flora going to field it. It's going to be a race to the bag. The flip over there is in time, according to Derek Dunbar. Godoy out on a 3-1 flip to first. A bang-bang play over at the bag. And so the Pippins score no runs on no hits. There were no errors, and they leave one on the base pads. Bottom of the sixth is next, 3-2. The Berries lead it here at Chemeketa. How they calling him out on that crap? Yeah. Gus Musial back out there for the bottom of the sixth inning. He faces Nolan Rowe, Colin Lenteo, and Sawyer Nelson. 8-9-1 due up for the Marion Berries. Must be that time of day. The wind has started to die down. Musial got a couple of strikeouts and a ground out with a walk sandwiched in between in the fifth inning. As the first pitch foul straight back. 0-1. His strikeout victims tonight are Gavin Price, Matthew Major. Taryn Carlson was the ground out. Hudson Flora walked back in the fifth inning, but I believe Jake Dodge has come in to play first base. So we'll see if he comes up here in the inning. Hopefully not, because Flora was hitting in the sixth spot as Musial finds his strike 0-2. This is the 8-hole hitting here. Certainly hope that we don't see that spot for a couple of frames. 0-2, Nolan Rose skies it out towards very shallow left center field. Garcia ranging over. He says he has it, and he does. One away here in the sixth. Colin Lenteo. A fielder's choice, which scored a run, and then a sacrifice bunt. So officially 0 for 1 today. First pitch fouled back over our heads, over towards the tree. And it bounces over towards the entryway to the ballpark. Couple extra baseballs being delivered to Perry Schofield. Larry the Bear, one of the two mascots here in Chemeketa, has a wicker basket on his head. 0-1, right at the top of the zone. It's 0-2. He normally wears a cap, but there's a basket on his head as well. The other mascot, which I hadn't seen yet this year, Dinkle, the berry, was out and about tonight as well. He was introduced at the West Coast League All-Star game last year. Here's a shot into right field, down for a base hit, just barely fair. Godoy ranges over and gets to it quick enough to hold Colin Linteo to a single. One out base runner from the number 9 man for the Berries. And now back to the top of the order. And the man who has probably drawn the most walks this week out of anybody by a wide margin, Sawyer Nelson. He's got 7 of them on this series. He is officially 1 for 1 against the Pippins this series with 7 walks, a hit by pitch, and a single. Runner takes off. Musial doesn't step off. The pitch is a strike. The throw down is way late. No contest on the stolen base by Colin Linteo. 2 stolen bases for the number 9 hitter, the second baseman, who just by looking at his stature doesn't appear to have much speed, but he's been very advantageous in his opportunities. 0-1, there's a strike. Musial right back into the count, 0-2. Well, let's see if the Pippins can get Sawyer Nelson out for the first time in this series. He's been on base every time he's come up. Again, 4 walks yesterday, a hit by pitch, and a single. He's got 3 walks today. 0-2. Musial rings him up, called strike 3. Fastball on the inner black, and Nelson begrudgingly walks away. Don't know how you can complain after that. You've been on every time in the series. That brings up Noah Scherer. Scherer walked, struck out, sack bunted. So officially 0 for 1. First pitch, right at the top of the zone. Gus pounding the strike zone tonight. That's a welcome sight. 0-1. Two runs on 4 hits for Yakima Valley, 3 runs on 5 hits for the Berries. Been that kind of ball game tonight. 0-1. Sent foul over on the right. Count 0-2. The runner at second was going on the contact, Colin Linteo. That's, of course, what you're supposed to do with 2 outs, is run on contact. Scherer behind in the count. Musial looking for his 4th strikeout. He comes set at the belly button, takes a look to second. Here comes the pitch. Half swing. Did he go? They appeal down to Perry Schofield. No swing, according to the field umpire. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pippin's coaching staff thought they got a swing out of that. Instead, it's 1-2. Here it comes from Gus. It's down and away with a breaking ball, 2-2. I will say, there is some close proximity seating to the dugouts here at Chemeketa, just by the nature of it being a community college field now. They've got seating right up along the backstop, all the way from dugout to dugout. 2-2, down and away, and so the count runs full with 2 outs and a man at second. Big pitch upcoming here from Musial. Has issued 1 walk, has struck out 3. Gus comes set. Here's the payoff. A shot out into right field, chasing Godoy back. He squares, he makes the catch, and the 6th inning comes to a close. There was no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 berry left on base. Late innings are up next. Top of the 7th, Pippins trail by 1, 3-2 here at Chemeketa Community College. Don't go away. You're listening to Pippins Baseball.
Just behind. Good job. Very cold. Please go on the ground. Team.
Top of the seventh inning here at Chemeketa Community College Field in Salem, Oregon. Glad you're with us here in the late frames. I'm Harmon Johnsen, your voice of the Yakima Valley Pippins. Dax Teixeira comes in for the Berries, playing in his 11th game. This has been an arm that they have leaned against so far this year. He faces Jackson Upton, and the first pitch he throws of the ball game is outside for ball one. On the season, 2-1, 14 and a third innings pitched for Teixeira, 9 hits, 8 runs, 6 of them earned, 9 walks, and 12 strikeouts. A 3.77 ERA with 6 hit by pitches as well as Upton ropes one down the left field line, but foul. Jackson finally barreled up a ball, but he was too far in front of it for it to stay fair. It's all right. Time to straighten it out. Upton 0 for 1 today, a strikeout and a sac bunt. Just past 8:30 here in Salem, Oregon. The 1-1 pitch. Sliced foul into the right. It's 1-2. So Teixeira working in now his 11th game. That is probably one of the top for our pitcher in the West Coast League. The 1-2, a breaking ball down and in, 2-2. I don't quite have that specific of a number in front of me, but just based on the way pitching works in this league, that's got to be up at the top, if not the top. 2-2. Upton swings through a slider on the outer half. Cole Hubka will stroll up to the plate. He's had a productive night tonight. A double and an RBI ground out. He's also scored a run. Berries on to their third pitcher tonight here in a close game, trying to lock down a series win. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Pippins trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Yakima Valley only 3-7 in their last 10. Hubka sends a shot to center field. Scherer backing up a few steps into the sunshine, puts it away chest high. 2 quick outs here in the 7th inning. Back to the top of the order for Tyson Miller. Miller 1 for 2. A single, an RBI, a walk, and a ground out. 7th inning stretch is coming up. And then the bottom of the 7th, the Berries will have 3, 4, and 5 in their batting order. First pitch, a big hack by Tyson right over the heart of the plate, 0-1. He came out of his shoes trying to send that over the right field wall. Pippins been stuck in this 3-2 gridlock for the last couple frames as the pitch misses down and away to Tyson. Berries scored 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th. Yakima Valley scored 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 5th. Nobody scored in the 6th. 1-1, down and away, 2 balls and a strike. And so certainly plenty of opportunities have been had. Pippins have left 5 rather, on the base pads. That's not near as many as the Berries have tonight, though. 2-1, a strike on the outer block. 2-2, look to be a changeup from Teixeira as he's a pitch away from a 1-2-3 frame. Teixeira set at the belt. Kicks the leg. The righty sends it in, and it's fouled back into the netting. So 2-2. Pippins in those blue tops. Berries wearing purple tonight. A couple of nice uniforms in the West Coast League. 2-2 pitch again. Tyson chops it high off the plate. This is over towards first. The second baseman, Linteo, has it. Tyson beats it out over there. Infield single for Yakima Valley. Tyson Miller aboard for the second time with a hit, third time today. Inning will continue. Tying run on the base pads for the Pips. I'll bring up Daichi. 1 for 2 today with a walk and a single. Furuhata trying to get Tyson around. Daichi takes a first pitch, down and in for strike 1. Barry, the bear mascot for the Berries, that's hard to say, doing the sea lion on top of the Pippins dugout. 0-1, Daichi takes up near the lips, 1-1. He was picking his tail, if you get the reference, earlier on. Now he's doing the 6-7. And now he just flashed the Pippins. Tyson dekes a move over at first. The ball gets away all the way to the backstop. A wild pitch makes it a 2-1 count and moves Tyson Miller up to second base, tying run in scoring position. How many times have I said that tonight? A base hit by Daichi would make this a 3-3 game. Two one. Daichi chops one that was probably ball 3. It's a foul ball. It's 2-2. Pippins down to their final strike here in the top of the 7th. A look back to second at Tyson. Teixeira brings home the 2-2. Daichi chops it slowly out to the mound. On one hop, Teixeira flips it on to first. And that will end the frame. Stretch time here at Chemeketa. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 1 Pippin left on the base pads. We'll be back after taking me out to the ball game. Berries have 3, 4, and 5 in their order when we come back.
It's a smile.
Gus Musial back out for the bottom of the 7th inning as the Pippins trying to ride the person that's been able to throw the most strikes so far in this series. He'll face Tyler Dunning, Gavin Price, and Matthew Major here in the 7th. Dunning, the only batter that Musial has not yet faced tonight, as the sun continues to dip below the tree line and the field now encased in shadow will be under the light power shortly. These LEDs, brand new this year, turning on. First pitch sent into the screen by Tyler Dunning to make it an 0-1 count. So Musial coming in, doing a good job of not only limiting runs, but limiting walks. McGuire had 5 when he departed after the 4th inning. Gus fires a pitch inside. Fastball 1-1 now. So Musial working in his 3rd frame. He's issued 1 walk, but he's struck out 3. 1-1 the count. A breaking ball right at the top of the zone, called ball 2. Pippins do have a few people throwing down in the bullpen. A couple throwing the football, just trying to stay loose. Looks like Francisco Lopez was throwing a baseball just a moment ago. Gus misses inside, 3-1. The night continues to cool off, so you got to wonder how long it'll take Gus to fully warm back up after sitting for the half-inning break. By no means was it a long break, just on a chillier night like tonight, it is hard to stay warm. 3-1. Pitch misses upstairs, ball 4. That's the second walk issued by Musial. Now he's been through the order once. Coach Crustangel peering down towards the Pippins bullpen down the left field line. And now he's going to send Jackson Upton out to have a chat with Gus Musial. Francisco Lopez is the one throwing in the bullpen. We saw Krusty go out and check on Jay O'Neill during the homestand after a diving play, and then he came back. He sent his catcher out to talk with the pitcher, and then finally Krusty went out and made a pitching change. This might just be a situation for Gus where maybe you get a second to try to calm him down. Home plate umpire Perry Schofield out there to break up the conversation. Upton taking his time getting back to the plate. Nobody out, man, at first. Pippin's not going to make a move yet down to the bullpen. Here comes Gavin Price, struck out against Musial back in the 5th. Dunning takes off. The pitch is on the ground, but it is foul. Daichi lost it, but it was in foul territory, so no harm, no foul. Moving back to first will be Tyler Dunning. Back to the batter's box, Gavin Price. Price today 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and a pop-up. Of course, tomorrow's game, 5:05 p.m. here in Salem. It's Father's Day. Pippins are going to be able to get home about an hour and a half earlier than they normally would, barring an exceptionally long game. Pick off over to first and back in plenty of time, Tyler Dunning. Last year for Father's Day, the Pippins were at home. This year they're on the road. Thankfully, my father is going to be here on Monday. Actually, they're going to be here Sunday. A bunt laid down by Price. Daichi going to have one play as it rolls up the third base line. It's over to first, and Nick able to scoop it before Price runs into him. Sacrifice bunt. That is the 4th one of those tonight for the Berries. They play small ball exceptionally well, and now Coach Crustangel going to head out to the hill and make a pitching change. So Musial able to get an out. Score the sacrifice bunt 5-3. Moving up to second, Tyler Dunning, and Gus's night is done. Great outing for Gus Musial. He goes 2 1/3. He strikes out 3. He does walk 2, but to this point, he has not allowed a run. Francisco Lopez into the game. We'll tell you about him when we come back. This is Pippins Baseball.
final second.
Francisco Lopez comes into the game for the Yakima Valley Pippins, making his 5th appearance on the season. 3 2/3 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, no walks, 1 hit, a 0 ERA for Cisco. He is going to be tasked with getting 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Matthew Major and Hudson Flora, the scheduled hitters, but as suspected, Jake Dodge is coming up in the first baseman's spot. And so, barring a double play, Dodge will hit here in the 7th inning. Got to get through Matthew Major first. Cisco peers over his glove out towards second base, and the first pitch is a half swing breaking ball. Did he go? No, says Derek Dunbar. 1 ball and no strikes. Temperatures here at Chemeketa Community College in Salem have slowly dipped down towards the 60s. Cisco fires in a breaking ball again. This time it stayed right over the heart of the plate, 1-1. Should say not toward the 60s, but into the 60s. We started the game at 73. Now the reading at McNary Field over at the airport says 64. Low tonight expected to be at 50 degrees. 1-1, another breaking ball from Francisco. It stays upstairs. It's 2-1. Nothing but breakers so far for Cisco. He does have a fastball that lives around 85 to 86. Matthew Major walked in the first, flew out and struck out in the 3rd and the 5th. Here in the 7th, he has a man at second and 1 away. Runner takes off at second. The pitch is downstairs. The throw down to 3rd is not in time. And so the Pippins infield will come in. Major ahead in the count, 3-1. Pippins got to get an out here, otherwise it makes life hard. Hubka playing in a major pull side shift. The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4 down at the knees. So Cisco went with the fastball there, and now the Pippins middle infield will back up. Well, the wind was only reading at about 6 miles an hour, but the gusts are definitely still around. Here's Jake Dodge. Dodge wearing big number 20. First pitch he sees is a breaking ball, just a bit down. 1-0. That walk by Cisco, the first one he's issued all summer. Playing here in his 5th game. He's been a strike thrower. He's been one of the more consistent arms out of the bullpen for Yakima Valley. 1-0, a fastball pounded foul over on the right side. 1-1. Francisco requests a new baseball. He gets it. So you've got Tyler Dunning at 3rd, Matthew Major at 1st. Closest of margins, 3-2 the Berries lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Pippins have 6 outs to work with to try to score. Cisco fires in a changeup, and it's swung right through by Jake Dodge to move the count to 1-2. Ground ball would be big. A strikeout would be big as well. Runner Major leading off. There he goes. Pitch upstairs from Cisco. It's an easy stolen base for Matthew Major, and now 2 are in scoring position. Both of them were aboard via the walk. Pippins middle infield will move from the backed up position to the in position, trying to play on the grass and cut down a run at home. Francisco elects to go out of the windup with runners at second and third. The 2-2 change up, got him. Dodge swung right over top of the pitch. So 2 away and 2 in scoring position for Taryn Carlson. Carlson a double back in the second, a strikeout, and a ground out. Francisco pitching in a huge situation here as the infield plays back at their normal depth. Fastball blown right by Carlson. Francisco lets out a grunt every time he sends it home. 0-1. Pippins trying to work out of a trouble situation. The 0-1 pitch is lined out to short and caught by Cole Hubka. Francisco strands a pair. The Berries do not score. They do not get a hit. And the Pippins do not commit an error. Francisco Lopez works out of a Gus Musial jam. We go to the 8th inning. Pippins still trail by only 1, 3-2 here in Salem.
We got Rennie, Jones, and Harper. They're gonna and around. Two. Best throwing factory in second. Remind me from you from that place, like I like. Just as you're going to order food and drinks, all concessions, beers, wine, fish, rents, be close at the end of the meeting. Please visit one of our concessions location for any final drinks.
Top of the 8th inning here at Chemeketa Community College ball field. The Pippins running out of opportunities to tie or take the lead. They trail by 1, 3-2 here in the top of the 8th inning. Nick Velasquez, Parker Burt, and Jay O'Neill, the perfect opportunity to get a couple runs on the board. As the first pitch comes in from Dex Teixeira high and away for ball 1. Francisco Lopez working out of that jam that Gus Musial left him. Neither inherited runner scores. And so that's how we're still at 3-2. The 1-0 pitch caught the bottom corner on the outside part of the plate. It's 1-1. Wind continues to whip through up here on top of the roof here at Chemeketa. 1-1 bounces off of the glove of Rowe outside. It's 2 balls and a strike. Eighth frame, we had runs scored by either team all the way up until the 5th. Nobody has scored since. Velasquez nubs one off the end of the bat. This is going to curl back into fair territory, and Nick's going to get an infield single off of a backward spinner over on the left side. Velasquez gets his first hit of the day. He got just enough backspin on that ball on a very awkward swing that it rolled back into fair territory on this perfectly flat ground. You don't see that every day. Parker Burt 0 for 2 with a walk today. First pitch taking a slower changeup, 0-1. Parker's got some pop in that bat. His first action since Sunday up in Edmonton. 0-1, Parker drills it out to left field. Spinning around Major. He looks up. The Pippins have taken the lead. Parker Bird in his first game back. A 2-run shot, and Yakima Valley leads it 4-3. The man just can't not hit. Parker Burt gets a round of applause and more from the dugout as the Pippins have some life leading here in the 8th inning. Now here's Jay O'Neill. First pitch misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. O'Neill has home run pop as well, although he's left-handed, so he'd have to go out to right. He sends one out to left, but into the Pippins bullpen, 1-1. Parker Burt hits his 4th home run of the year. He had 2 up in Edmonton, 1 down in Ridgefield. 1-1. O'Neill into the top of the netting. It's now 1-2. Parker Burt just continues to impress. Before the injury was by far the leader in batting average. Some folks have caught up to him since. 1-2 here to O'Neill. Down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The big Texan just seeming to find a power surge the last week or so. Teixeira set the 2-2 pitch. O'Neill stays alive and sends it over towards the parking lot. Bounces right off the side of a truck and rockets over in between 2 parked cars. We'll do it again at 2-2. Here it comes. It's outside, ball 3. Pippins with nobody out, looking for another base runner to start the rally and grab a couple of insurance runs. Here comes the payoff. Jay got just enough to send it back to the netting. Count still full. Long at bat here between Jay O'Neill and Dax Teixeira. Who will win the payoff? And Jay got just enough to stay alive. He fouls it into the shin of Nolan Rowe. Perry Schofield will head out, have a chat with the pitcher to try to give the catcher Rowe a chance to catch his breath. Unbelievable. Parker Burt being currently shown the video review of the home run. General Manager Jordan Rowland made the trip for this Saturday game. Payoff upstairs, ball 4. Jay O'Neill takes a walk. Long at bat, won by Jay O'Neill. And now Luis Garcia will dig in as Coach Crestangel going to call an offensive timeout. Looks like we might be getting potential pitching change. Tucker Brack heading out there. Pippins might get a free timeout out of this. The motion been made. And so the Pippins going to get together anyway. Dax Teixeira will exit, gives up a 2-run home run to Parker Burt. The Pippins lead it 4-3 here in Salem. We'll get you information on the new arm when we come back. The new pitcher into the game for the Marion Berries is Daniel Camus, right-handed thrower from San Dimas, California. Will be headed to Cal Poly. On the season, 2-0 with 7 games pitched, 11 and a third innings, 10 strikeouts, 7 walks, 12 hits, 11 earned runs for an 8.74 ERA. He'll be facing off against Luis Garcia first, then Trey Godoy and Jackson Upton. Nobody out. A man at first is Jay O'Neill. Parker Burt with a 2-run home run in this frame after a Nick Velasquez single. A throw over to first, and Jay O'Neill dives back in time. Slap tag applied by Dodge. So still no pitch being thrown to Garcia. Luis has some gap-to-gap power of his own. Next to Shera, just left one too far over the plate for Parker. He's got plenty of pull-side pop. Garcia took a home run hack, but couldn't come up with the fastball at the top of the zone. It's 0-1. Pippins have what appears to be John Witt throwing down in the bullpen after getting knocked around a little bit in his last appearance against the Elks, as there's a throw over to first. Back in time is Jay. John will be looking to possibly tie down a 6-out save. Let's see if the Pippins can get him a couple of insurance runs. Jay takes off. Luis swings through. He falls over the plate. And I believe they're going to call interference. Garcia is going to be out. And they're going to send O'Neill back to first, even though the throw sailed into center field. Luis called out on the batter's interference. And that wipes away a Pippins stolen base. So I believe that's a 2 unassisted technically because of the interference. It's not a strikeout because it was only 0-1. So here's Trey Godoy with Jay O'Neill still over at first and now 1 away. First pitch in the dirt, under the feet of Nolan Rowe. He recovers in time to keep Jay at first. Francisco Lopez walking down to the bullpen for Yakima Valley. John Witt continuing to throw. Cisco's night likely done after getting 2 high-stress outs. Jay chased back to first. He is in there with a dive. Count still 1-0. Daniel Camus, when he allows contact, usually to the pull side, faced a majority of right-hand hitters, the right-handed pitchers. Here's a foul ball off the bat of Trey Godoy that got a piece of Nolan Rowe. He's going to walk around the dish and try to shake out a hand. It looked like it got him. Cooler night, so it's going to take a while to shake out that sting in the hand. Training staff will be ushered back to the dugout. Nolan's a tough kid. He says he's fine. Some folks starting to leave now that the Pippins have the lead 4-3. Yakima Valley looking for some insurance runs. Jay is lead off at first. Long pause here, set at the belt is Camus. Jay takes off. The pitch is down and in for a ball. The throw down is not in time. O'Neill swipes second. Insurance run in scoring position for Trey Godoy. The count 2-1 favors the UCLA Bruin. Jay was at second when Godoy got his first hit. That was at home, but Jay was thrown out. Let's see if Trey can get something out in the grass. 2-1. Got a piece of it, but it trickles through the legs of the backstop all the way into the netting. So the count 2-2. Pippins took the lead here in the 8th inning with a 2-run home run by Parker Burt. Time called, and one disengagement going to be used as Camu steps off the back. Peers in for the sign, now comes set, standing on the third base side of the rubber as a right-handed arm. He looks back to second, and Jay O'Neill, 2-2 pitch plate word. Godoy on the ground over to first. Dodge, going to say he's got it. He wins the race to the bag. 3 unassisted for out number 2, but it's a productive out for Yakima Valley because Jay O'Neill moves up 90 feet to third. Jackson Upton struck out twice. He's also sack bunted. Good time for Jackson to get his first hit as a Pip. Jackson doing the catching today, giving Avel Ramos a day off, and Parker Burt not quite ready to be behind the dish yet. First pitch, hacking and missing on a changeup. He was anticipating fastball, so it's 0-1. Upton clear in the back of the right-hand batter's box. Camu sends it in. Upton right back to the glove of Camu. Look what I found coming off the field. L1. Not many times you get to write that in your scorebook. Pippins cannot bring home Jay O'Neill, but they score 2 runs on 2 hits. Parker Burt with a 2-run home run gives the Pippins the lead. To the bottom of the 8th we go. 4-3 Yakima Valley here in Salem. Bottom of the 8th inning here at Chemeketa Community College ball field. John Witt into the game for the Yakima Valley Pippins. 3 saves on the season for John Witt. He's played in 7 games, has gone 7 2/3 innings. He's struck out 6, he's walked 5. He's given up 6 hits and 6 earned runs, 7.04 ERA. Again, a majority of his earned runs have come during a 2-inning outing up in Edmonton where they were just trying to get him some innings, just trying to work a little bit. He hadn't pitched in 7 days up to that point. And so Witt back to his normal closer's role. Did take a loss earlier on. That was back on Wednesday. I believe it goes down as a blown save and a loss. He faces Nolan Rowe first here in the bottom of the 8th inning and fires in a first pitch strike to the catcher for the Berries. 8, 9, and 1 due up here in the 8th. Pippins will get one more chance to score, and then the bottom of the 9th, as long as this score stays the way it is. 0-1. Witt misses just downstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike with the fastball. Worked out perfectly for Yakima Valley that Burt hit the 2-run shot. And so Witt able to come in. He's going to need 6 outs to earn a save tonight. 1-1. Wave and a miss on a changeup. Rowe unable to catch up with it. You've got Colin Linteo in the on-deck circle, who is 1 for 2 today. Rowe today is 1 for 2 as well. Both of them have sacrificed bunts. That's part of the reason why they only have 2 at-bats. 1-2 pitch. Slider dives outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Crowd is thinned out a little bit as the temperature continues to dip into the high 50s. It was 63 degrees at last check. We started the game at 73. 2-2 from John Witt. Sent out to center field. Shallow. Garcia coming on. Still coming. Dives. And he made the grab. Luis Garcia with a web gem in center field. 1 away here in the 8th. A full Superman extension for Luis. The call was delayed by Perry Schofield just to make sure that he had the ball. 1 out. Here's Colin Linteo. Linteo singled in the 6th inning. He's stolen 2 bags. First pitch, another chance for Luis. This one he comes in, catches it, waste high. Much more routine for Garcia. 2 away. Here's the top of the order, Sawyer Nelson. Nelson failed to reach the bases for the first time in this series back in the 6th inning. He struck out looking against Gus Musial. Prior to that, he had walked 7 times. He was hit by a pitch, and he had a single. Witt's first pitch downstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Going to have to face the meat of the Marion order at some point if you're John Witt. This is the number 1 hitter. Still got the 9th inning yet to play for both of these sides. 1-0, sent foul over on the left side, looking up into the new grandstand seating. Bounces off of the walkway, and that'll become a souvenir. One ball and 1 strike. Sawyer Nelson, straight out of high school, already contributing here in the West Coast League. Takes a slider down and in, 2 balls and a strike. For Teixeira, for the Berries, the pitcher, he gives up the 2 runs. That was it. Camus came in and stranded Jay O'Neill at 3rd. 2 balls and a strike. Another one foul on the left side. This one over towards the parking lot. Bounces off the road. Didn't hit a car initially. Bounces over top and then onto a white sedan. Then rolls back into the middle of the street. Witt has it in a 2-2 count to Sawyer Nelson. Gloves set at the letters. Here comes the 2-2. A line drive. Hubka can't handle it. It's past his glove and into left field for a base hit. Sawyer Nelson gets his 2nd hit of the series. And so the inning will continue. Hubka just not quite tall enough to reach up and grab it. Here comes Noah Scher. Sacrifice bunt, strikeout, walk, fly out for Scher. We'll see if Nelson is off with the pitch. He will likely be stealing at some point this at-bat. Not going here. Witt, first pitch, just a touch high and away, 1-0. John pitching completely out of the stretch for the first time tonight. 1-0, runner not going. Pitches a fastball right on the inside corner, 1-1. John's fastball looking very good tonight. 1-1. You've got Nelson over at first. There he goes. Pitch fouled at the plate. Noah Scherer sent that one off of his shin guard, and so the count moves to 1-2. This is the pitch you want to put him out on. Don't want to give Nelson a chance to steal a bag. Four runs, 7 hits for Yakima Valley. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Berries. Witt sends home the 1-2. It bounces away from Upton. Rounding second hard is Nelson. He was not going with the pitch, and so that'll likely be a wild pitch. The count moves to 2-2. Still no harm yet. John pitching a fairly high-stress situation, though, the tying run at second base. He's a strike away from getting back to the dugout and giving his bats one more chance to hit. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Witt set up the letters. A look back to second base. Here comes the 2-2 delivery. Nearly pulled Upton out of the batter's box. So the count runs full. Darkness settles in here at Chemeketa CC. John just got to make one pitch here. Give the sticks a chance to provide some insurance. Peering in for the sign. Now he comes set. Nelson, the runner, out at second after a wild pitch. Here comes the payoff. Upstairs, ball 4. The inning continues. Here comes Tyler Dunning. We'll see if a mound visit gets made here. Probably not. Coach is relaying defensive position. Tyler Dunning, a double, a fly out, a sac fly, and a walk. First pitch. Down below the knees. 1-0. John needs to take a deep breath and recenter himself. Time going to be called by Upton. Upton to go out and chat with John Witt. Pippins do have a couple of guys moving around in the bullpen. Witt, one of the higher leverage arms tonight available. Gus Musial went 2 1/3. Francisco Lopez went 2/3. Tying run is on at second base. The go-ahead run is Noah Scherer over at first base. Remember, we still do have the 9th inning to play, so anything's possible. Pippins just need 1 out to give the sticks one more chance. One and 0 after the meeting on the mound. The pitch, just a touch off. Perry Schofield not giving that outer black. It's 2-0. John Witt standing tall out there on the hill, certainly feeling some internal pressure. Couple of runners on at first and second. Here's the 2-0. It's on the ground over towards first. Velasquez takes it to the bag himself, and the Berries leave 2 on the base pads. 3 unassisted is how you score it. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on. We go to the 9th inning. Pippins lead it 4-3. Last chance to add on for Yakima Valley. Don't go anywhere. Thrilling conclusion next here in Salem. Camu's still in for the Marion Berries. Welcome back to Chemeketa Community College ball field. I'm Harmon Johnsen, your voice of the Yakima Valley Pippins. Make or break time here in the top of the ninth inning. Pippins lead it by 1. Need a couple of runs of insurance to give John Witt and the bullpen some breathing room when we get to the bottom of the ninth. Good opportunity to do so. You've got 9, 1, and 2 in the Pippins order. Cole Hubka, Tyson Miller, Daichi Furuhata, then hopefully Nick Velasquez and Parker Bird again. Hubka up first, facing Camo. Deep breath from the righty as he goes out of the full windup with nobody on. The first pitch is downstairs for ball 1. Hubka today doubled and scored in the 3rd, grounded out and drove in a run in the 5th, and flew out to center field in the 7th. 1-0 buzzes the tower. Hubka backing away. Kuno. See if Hubka can be a sort of secondary leadoff man as he gets ahead in the count 3-0 on a downstairs pitch by Camo. The Berries have men down in their bullpen, but nobody's throwing right now. Probably will be at least a batter or two before they make a pitching change if they decide to do so. 3-0 pitch. Hubka takes a back foot fastball for ball 4. Leadoff man aboard here in the 9th inning. Good sign for the Pippins. Here comes the top of the order. Tyson Miller, 2 for 3. A couple of singles, a walk, an RBI as well. He's batting from the left side here as Hubka stands over at first after the walk. Tyson showing bunt immediately. Camu not yet delivering. There goes the runner. It's a suicide type bunt, and unfortunately Tyson drops it over in the left-hand batter's box and it rolls foul. Oh and 1 the count. Hubka was running with the bunt attempt. So that was definitely you're going to get it down. We're going to be safe at least at second. Here comes a throw to first, and back in plenty of time is Cole. Tyson, like I mentioned, been on the last 3 appearances at the plate. 2 singles and a walk. Another check over to first, and back again is Cole. Tyson squaring. Set at the belt is Camu. Long pause. Hubka not going. The bunt is pulled back, but they're going to say a foul tip by Tyson. He didn't quite get it out of the way in time. So it's 0-2. That's unfortunate because the pitch was well inside. Tyson just kind of lazily pulled the bunt back. Hubka over there at first, not going. The 0-2 pitch. Tyson pulls it on the ground over to first. Dodge to second for 1. The relay will not be made as nobody was covering the bag. And so Miller replaces Hubka at first. Hubka out 3-6. Fielder's choice. Tyson reaches for the 4th time today. Big opportunity for Daichi here. Single walk, ground out, strikeout. Not in that order, though. Tyson with some decent speed over at first base, just hasn't had the most success stealing bases so far this year. There he goes on the first move. It's a breaking ball at the top of the zone for strike 1 to Daichi. Tyson slides in safely to second. Stolen bag for Tyson. That's his 2nd steal tonight. Man in scoring position for Daichi, an insurance run, standing out there at second. The breaking ball was a strike at the top of the zone to Daichi. Here comes the 0-1. Furuhata lays off a breaking ball on the carpet. 1 ball and 1 strike. Urahata has been clutch at times. He's got a couple of home runs. He's scored the most runs on the Pippin squad. 1-1. Wave and a miss. He was trying to go over the left field fence out towards the bus. It's now 1-2. Pippins lead at 4-3, the narrowest of margins. In the bottom of the ninth inning, the Berries will have 4, 5, and 6 due up. Daichi crowding the plate in the back of that right-hand batter's box. Very condensed stance for Furuhata. The 1-2. Breaking ball down and away. The count moves to 2-2. Nick Velasquez waiting on deck. They've got 2 outs on the scoreboard. That's not right. There's only 1 away. There we go. Now it's right. 2-2 pitch. Daichi pounds it on the ground over on the left side. Shortstop Dunning has it. The throw on to first is in time. 6-3 put out. Daichi unable to advance the runner. So it's up to Nick Velasquez to provide some insurance for the Pippins. If he could reach, Parker Burt would come up to bat again. We know what happened the last time he came up. It's the reason the Pippins have the lead right now. Velasquez so far today, a single, a strikeout, a flyout, and a pop-up into foul territory. First pitch, watching a fastball outside, 1 ball and no strikes. The action in the Pippins bullpen has set down. Looks like John Witt will be the pitcher to try to close this game out with his 3 saves on the year. 1-0, Velasquez takes a breaking ball in. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Four to 3 the score, 7-6 the hits in favor of Yakima Valley. 2 balls, no strikes the count in favor of Nick Velasquez. The pitch, it's a strike right at the top of the zone, went with a slider. Makes it 2-1. Tyson Miller stands out at second base, hoping to be an insurance run for Yakima Valley. Nick Velasquez had 2 doubles last night. 2-1, takes a pitch down and away for ball 3. Parker Burt waiting in anticipation in that on-deck circle over on the left side of the diamond. 3 balls and a strike. Velasquez awaits the pitch from Camo. Tyson takes off, the pitch being delivered. Nick swings and fouls it back. Tyson had the bag stole easily. He was halfway there. So the count runs full and there's 2 outs. Tyson had a great opportunity to make his way to third there, but Nick had one too close to lay off. Now he's got to protect. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tyson out there at second. The pitch from Camus, wave and a miss at the top of the zone for strike number 3. The Pippins, unable to add any insurance, get no runs on no hits, no errors, and they leave 1 on the base pads. Here we go. Bottom of the 9th is next. Pippins lead by 1. John Witt trying to get the save as the Pippins need 3 more outs. John Witt out to try to get the save here at Chemeketa Community College ball field. Yakima Valley leads at 4-3 here in the bottom of the ninth. The Pippins on a 3-game losing streak trying to snap that. They're trying to get their 5th win on the road. They're trying to get their 10th win overall. Gavin Price will be due up first, and then Matthew Major and Jake Dodge against John Witt. Pippins have a couple of bodies out in the bullpen, everybody else down in the dugout. The bullpen arm down there just in case things go south for John. First pitch here in the bottom of the 9th inning is downstairs, ball 1 to Gavin Price. Price today 0 for 3. He has a sacrifice bunt as well. He's struck out twice. He's popped up to Nick Velasquez at first. Witt sends home the 1-0. It's straight over our heads and over towards the road. Bounces into the grass over on the campus of Chemeketa CC. 1 ball and 1 strike. John with 3 saves so far this season, up near the league lead. 1-1. Strike dotted on the outer half. Moves the count to 1-2. In fact, pitching-wise, Witt tied for first with 3. If he could pull this one off, he'd be all alone at the top of the saves lead for the West Coast League. 1-2. Down and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Witt has played in now 8 games. Kellen Siegel of Corvallis has played in 14. That's who he's tied with. 2-2, the pitch from John. Fastball called strike 3. Gavin Price down looking. 1 away here in the 9th. This will bring up Matthew Major. Major 0 for 2. A strikeout and a flyout in the 3rd and the 5th. And a pair of walks to bookend those. Major stands tall in that right-hand batter's box. First pitch, a wave and a miss at a changeup. A pinch hitter is in the on-deck circle in the spot of Jake Dodge. We'll get a number in just a moment. First, the 0-1 pitch. Fastball stuck on the outer half, but it is called a ball. 1-1 the count. The man in the batter's box, or excuse me, in the on-deck circle is Kyson Barney. Freshman from Nolensville, Tennessee, waiting to pinch hit. 1-1, a slider, wave and a miss. Matthew Major now down in the count, 1-2. Four runs on 7 hits right now for the Pippins. 3 runs on 6 hits for the Berries. John Witt ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Base is empty. Here comes the pitch. Change up down and away, 2-2. Major stole a bag back in the 7th inning when he walked. He's been left at second both times he's been aboard. 2-2 pitch from Witt. The bottom drops out. It's a foul ball, and Upton just upset that he couldn't hang on that swing by Major. He pounds the mask into the ground, probably more in frustration than pain. Coach Crustangel out to check on his catcher. Second time that Upton's been dinged today. Training staff slowly making their way out there to check on Upton. He says he's good. Perry Schofield will assume his position back behind home plate. The count's still 2-2 after the foul ball. Could have been a foul tip strikeout. Upton couldn't quite hang on to it after he was hit by that. So still 2-2. John Witt comes set at the letters. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball, down and away. Count's going to run full here. John trying to recenter. Was ahead in the count 1-2. Had a foul ball that was nearly strike three. And now a payoff pitch here with one away to Matthew Major. Here it comes. A tapper back to the mound. John fields his position. He flips it on to Nick at first. There's two away here in the ninth. EFP done to perfection for John Witt. And now Kyson Barney will pinch hit. Freshman from Nolensville, Tennessee, trying to provide a spark off the bench. Barney playing in his 10th game. He's got a .294 batting average. He has one long ball and 7 RBI. Last time he appeared in a game, my cold fingers trying to move my computer screen, was June 18th at Walla Walla. It went 0 for 2. Half swing and a miss. The count is 0-1. Pips dugout starting to get fired up. John Witt 2 strikes away. We settle in. Here comes the 0-1. Foul on the ground past first base. And the Berries down to their final strike tonight. John Witt with 1 strikeout so far tonight. Looking for a second K and potentially a 4th save. Pippins on a 3-game losing streak, trying to get back into the win column. Looking for win number 10 on the season. The 0-2 pitch from John Witt. Just a bit downstairs on a fastball. The count 1-2. Perry Schofield could have been my best friend there if he would have just rung him up. Instead, we go to 1-2. 2 outs here in the ninth. John Witt peers in for the sign, looking to snap a 3-game losing streak for Yakima Valley. The 1-2 pitch on the way, on the ground over to Daichi. To a knee, he has it. The long throw across the diamond. The Pippins win. They snap a 3-game losing streak. They get back to 500 at 10-10. And John Witt is now the league leader in saves with 4. A 2-inning save for John Witt. The first win of the year for Francisco Lopez. And the Pippins hold on for a 4-3 victory and will go for a potential series win tomorrow on Father's Day here in Salem. How about that for a game? Parker Burt comes in off the bench after sitting for a week. He's got a start tonight. He hits a 2-run bomb in the 8th inning, and the Pippins are back to being victorious. I got to go down and talk to Parker and John, but we'll talk to you tomorrow for Father's Day, 5:05 first pitch here in Salem. Tune in on both pippinsbaseball.mixler.com or on the Pippins YouTube. Until then, I'm Harmon Johnsen signing off for now, saying stay safe. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Pippins are victorious tonight in this one, a final score of 4-3. Have a good night, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Father's Day.